2004 Toyota AFL Premiership season, brought to you by our telecast sponsors, Primus Telecom, change is simple. Chartered Accountants, employ our thinking. Radio Rentals, now big in furniture. Amy, lucky you're with Amy. Keno, win it by the minute. And Toyota, oh what a feeling.
Stadium and Sunday football showdown number 16. Port Adelaide come out onto the field. They've won 10 of 15 showdowns. Adelaide only the 5. And we are in for a ripper today as Warren Treadray takes the team out onto the field. Good afternoon to an old Port boy, Dwayne Russell.
Pleasure to be here, Dermot, back in South Australia. It doesn't get any bigger in this state than showdown day. Only half the state will be interested next week when Adelaide drops out of the competition, and this afternoon this is the grand final for the Crows, and Port Adelaide is just a hurdle they need to overcome to get themselves top spot heading into September.
Well, they did it last year as well, yeah. Third season in a row. They'll be looking for top billing at the end of the home and away season. Mark Rasciuto there leads his team out onto the ground. His 262nd game. Most blokes who get to 260 plus seem to, you could just say in a polite kind of way, they a little bit of a limp to 250 plus. He's just going as strong as ever. You've got to remember he's only 20 games away in the past from a Brownlow medal, and his form's been as good this season. Let's have a look at their team now. We do have a late change with Adelaide. Begley comes into the side and Welsh goes out. So that is the case with the Crows at the moment.
He's going to be a big loss to them because he's kicked more goals than any other player for Crows this year, 36 goals, 25. So without Welsh, someone else is going to have to go forward and kick them for them.
Well, Nathan Bock, we can see that Neil Craig is grooming him as their key defensive player. He's a good-sized kid who'll fill out even more, and you would say that would be verified, that stance by Craig, if he gives him Warren Treadray first up.
Massive gamble, though. He's only played 17 games, Nathan Bock, so if you go to give him the player that some people believe is the best player in the competition, you really have to maybe stay with it, even if Treadray kicks a couple early. Otherwise, you just about kill the kid after 17 games.
I don't know about kill him.
Well, kill his confidence.
Big Brett Vickers, he is a killer, this bloke. He does like crashing into them. He'll play up forward. He's been playing up there for the last few weeks as well. Had quite a few shots at goal. Hasn't converted all that well. He'll calm down and he'll get them through eventually. But a big, strong fella, and he'll be able to do some damage up there, especially with Welsh going out. Brett Rutten we saw on screen a second ago. The truck, they call him.
Why's that?
He's as big as one. Not quite as tall, but he's as wide as one, and he'll get a job down back as well. Let's take a look at the Port Adelaide side.
And where do you start with Port Adelaide? They've done a couple of good things this year, Port Adelaide, with their lineup, and one of the great things they've had, even without Primus and without Franco, they've got guys like Lade and Brogan who've stepped up magnificently, and they've split Corns and Treadray. Corns now playing centre-half back, and he's had an all-Australian season.
Oh, he certainly has. Look, if you're a footy team and you say, we've had a great season because our centre-half forward, our centre-half back, or one or the other, is all-Australian, you can pencil that in now. You've got two in the one side, you've had a great season, and that's what Port Adelaide have done again.
7th of September, and polling day, as I mentioned, will take place on the 9th of October. This election, ladies and gentlemen, will be about trust. Who do you trust to keep the economy strong and protect family living standards? Who do you trust to keep interest rates low? Who do you trust to lead the fight on Australia's behalf against international terrorism? Who do you trust to keep the budget strong so that we can afford to spend more on health and education? The election will be about the future of this nation over the next 10 years. And in the weeks ahead, I will unveil detailed plans addressing the major challenges which face our nation over that 10-year period. Those plans will be based on the certain knowledge that all of our policies in the future, as they have been in the past, will be fully funded, eminently affordable, and coming off the base of about the most strongly performing economy in the Western world. Economic strength and economic stability is the basis of the realisation of other hopes and aspirations for a nation. Without economic strength and economic durability, all the goals in the world will not be achieved. And the great achievement of this government over the last 8.5 years is that we have delivered a strong, robust and competitive economy. Over that period of time, we have created 1.3 million new jobs. We have wiped $70 billion off the debt we inherited from the former Labor government. We have seen interest rates so critical to Australian families, particularly at the present time in an international climate of upward pressure on interest rates. We have seen those interest rates fall to 30-year lows. And importantly, we have delivered real wage increases to Australian workers of some 14% over that period. We have given to the Australian people and the Australian nation a sense of hope, a sense of prosperity, and a sense of optimism. Australia is a proud, respected nation around the world, not only because of the inherent worth of the Australian people, which is always there and always our greatest asset, no matter who might be in government at a particular time, but it is undeniably the case that the economic strength and the determined and unambiguous stance Australia has taken on difficult international issues has given to our country a new dimension and a new respect. But in the process of doing these things, we have not neglected the vulnerable in our community. We have strengthened Medicare. And it is an irony of this election campaign that the only party promising to take away something from Medicare is in fact the Australian Labor Party. The Medicare safety net, the most important structural addition to Medicare in 20 years, is of growing benefit to Australian families and the more vulnerable in our community, yet Labor, for ideological reasons, is committed to taking that safety net away. Managing an $800 billion economy is a challenging task. It requires focus, experience, and steadiness. It requires an experienced team. The successes that my government have had are not successes that I solely claim for myself. I have a great team. I have, in my view, the finest treasurer this country has seen in Peter Costello. I have in Alexander Downer an outstanding foreign minister. In Philip Ruddock, firstly a fine immigration minister and now a fine Attorney General. In Tony Abbott, somebody who's brought reforming zeal to the healthcare portfolio. In Brendan Nelson, who's brought great reforming zeal and negotiated through the Senate against all predictions major long-term systemic changes to our higher education system. So I present myself to the Australian people as an experienced, committed, focused Prime Minister who is leading an experienced, focused team that has a track record of success. It has been said by one of my predecessors that if you change the government, you change the country. A change to a Latham Labor government would be no mere adjustment at the margin. In two crucial areas, it would represent a real threat to the living standards of the Australian people and Australian families. The first and most sensitive of those is, of course, the area of interest rates. As an historic fact that over the last 30 years, interest rates under Labor governments have always gone up because Labor governments spend more than they collect and drive budgets into deficit. So it will be with a Latham Labor government. And it's been calculated that if interest rates under a future Labor government led by Mr Latham were to rise to the average of what they were under previous Labor governments, that would add an additional $960 a month to the average mortgage of the average Australian family.
Mickey, showdown 16. Opening bounce, and the free kick is going to Port. Lade to take it. A slight breeze going left to right. Port working into it. Not indicated by that kick. It's a massive kick. Thurston's was held. No free. John Cox over the football. Thurston's fights on. Arriving quickly was Carr. Almost out of control. And the free kick is going to, I think, Adelaide. Yes, John Cox holding the ball against Thurston's. It'll come back. The umpires this afternoon, Kennedy, Rosebery and Meredith. And John Cox is anxious to go as well. Underway at Amy Stadium. John Cox drives it out wide. Bassett is at right half back. Goodwin offers. That's ignored. Now Stenglide. When he goes back deep inside his own defensive 50. Bach across the ground then. Rutten has it up from the back pocket. Burton running hard, outnumbered. Needs to be precise. It's not a good kick. Fell in short. Burton, though, able to wheel around, kick it beyond the wing. Ill-directed. Brogan fell in front. Clark did pretty well, disrupted things. Corns went down. Burgoyne should have been tackled, breaks away, has a bounce. Is forward at the wing, kicks inside the forward 50. Treadray, awkward half volley, trapped it brilliantly. Comes around on his left boot, intended for Thurston's. Will it get there? Yes.
That's a super kick. A super kick. And just repeating the changes, if you've just joined us, which a lot of our people have, just because of the news out of Canberra. Kingsley is out of the selected side, and Stewie Dew replaces him. And also, Begley comes in for Adelaide at the expense of Welsh, who had to pull out.
Toby Thurston's only about 25 metres out then. Will it be the opening goal? Port playing for top spot this afternoon. And that's the start they want.
To get top spot, to get prime position heading into September. I'll drop to either 2 or 3 if they lose, depending on how badly they lose. Hardwick through traffic, got it to James. Hamwood Lade, kick smothered, Stengline, knocked up. Chance for Mattner, knocked it to Stengline, gave it to Edwards, throws away. Spearing pass inside 50, Jericho left it for Biglands, kicks around the body and scores a level.
Super agility, Biggs, for a big bloke, being able to put it on the boot like that and push, travelling through the air sideways as he got the ball onto his boot.
Yeah, Dermot, fantastic work by yourself. You spotted him as a player who could have been dangerous up forward. Starts up there. Look, great one take, and that's fantastic stuff for him. That'll give him a lot of confidence.
That's a super snap, isn't it? He's actually turned the body mid-air then when he felt the contact.
He's had, like I say, a couple of shots before early in the game, and they were all set shots, but to get that one, and just that was instinctive. Just threw it on the boot, got a good bounce, and like I said, great way to start for him.
I'm tipping there's a big divot where the back of his melon hit the ground there. Don't trip up in that.
Was a heavy landing. It's a goal apiece then. Laid, worth a kick down towards centre half forward. In front, Doughty missed it. Burton, though, on the assist, swings it out wide. Burgoyne running hard. Picks it up about 10 metres in from the line, needs support. Wilson had peeled off with a hand pass, and now Burgoyne is penalised for holding it. Well, Wilson had a decision to make, and as it turned out, made the wrong one.
He can tackle this bloke.
Simon Goodwin
really slipped back in the last couple of months in their tackling. That's a shy kick from the target. But that fellow Goodwin, he can tackle. Rashudo still slaps him on too.
Brogan left half back then, under cloudy skies. Towards half forward, Treadray in front, full-chested, just beyond the wing. Looks towards half forward, thought about the left foot, goes with the right. High one, Thurston's again in best position, in from the side, Laid. Crashing the pack was Bassett. Riley's over the football, dragged down. Wanganeen running out of space, the Pickett's around it. Hand passes intended for Cassisi. As he pushed to the back, play goes on about 40 metres out from goal. At the base of that is Riley. And we'll have a ball up.
Interesting one with the centre bouncers. You've got Laid doing the ruck work in the middle, then drifting forward, and Brogan who's starting from behind the ball.
Brendan Laid, in the last month, he's in the top 10 for clearances in the competition, even as a ruckman. He's had 2 already today.
Wins this knockdown, but only as far as Michael Doughty. And we will get another ball up. Brendan Laid has had almost his best season, you would say, Dermot. He broke the same leg twice, which knocked him back for a couple of years, but he has come back strong. In the absence of Matty Primus, they have needed him to. Thurston rises high, knocks it down to Rashudo. Uncharacteristic fumble, then he dropped it. Umpire was blindsided. Edwards holds it in, and we will get another bounce on attacking 50 for Port Adelaide. You saw the Port Adelaide bench. The Adelaide Crows bench is Shirley, Stevens, Begley and Laddams.
I'm convinced the players who get over the ball, you stay over it and they grab your jumper, that's holding the ball. We see people try and work through it. If you get in that situation, turn around and have your chest facing upwards, and the umpires seem to be more lenient for some reason.
If you're trying to get it out, they tend to give you some benefit of the doubt.
I'm talking, yeah, but in disguises, if you actually roll onto your back.
Yeah. If you pad up to the bowler, you get no benefit of the doubt whatsoever. But at least if you're trying to play a stroke,
you've got to give him an out.
The sweet science of the game. Carr knocks it down. Bassett slips it away. Rashudo taken down hard by guess who? Pickett. Burton picks it up, puts it up towards half-back. Rutten. Mackner peels off half-back and comes up towards the wing. Corns missed it. Lurking behind. The big fellow Clark taken down. Not his best situation. The ball spills across the boundary line, but he's been penalised. Brogan's got it.
Now they're on in the middle for him.
Short to Montgomery. Cruising past. Kane Corns having a wonderful year. To Wakeland. Burgoyne's on the move. That's ignored. So Wakeland just settles it down. Up from the back pocket. Running hard is Bishop. He goes in that direction now. Jericho got a hand to it. Knocks it towards the boundary. And that will suffice. A goal apiece. Just over 14 minutes out from quarter time. It's showdown 16.
Pretty well then, Adelaide. They made Port go back, and they didn't allow him to play on at all, and made him go all the way across the other side without gaining a yard.
He is pretty quick, Jericho, isn't he, Bix? He ran the heats of the Bay Sheffield last year.
Yeah, he is very athletic.
And he got there in time then. McLeod tries to get it out to Carr. He in turn gives it to Hardwick, who was helped across the boundary line. Will get a ball in. Michael Roberts on the boundary line.
Just a quick update with those injuries. Adam Kingsley's out with a groin injury. Scott Welsh with a calf injury. That's why he's not playing.
So Welsh, who was their #1 goal kicker this year, 36 goals, 25, not there to kick them. Hardwick crashed in. Rutten got the benefit of the doubt that Hardwick wasn't hit high. High kick towards half forward. Corns flies over Perry. No free kick there either. Play on. Edwards inside 50. Bigley couldn't bring the chest mark down. Hardwick, Goodwin wins out. Gets the kick away. High, full forward, running hard but not able to get there before the ball is out of bounds on the full. Trent Henschel, and we will get a free kick to Port Adelaide in the back pocket.
Comes to Carr, who drives up towards the wing. Montgomery has it now. Forced to go back to the middle. That's okay. James gathers the bouncing ball. Looks to half forward. Here comes Cassisi. Awkward half volley. Left it behind Wiley. Beat Montgomery. Edwards needs to be quick. Run down by Treadray, holding it. Well, something was missing there. Awareness and or talk. Down goes Tyson Edwards. Away goes Treadray. Man on in the middle. In fact, two of them. Here's a chance for Port. Wilson. We've got ourselves a convoy. Wilson down towards the 50, still going. Lines up, kicks. This will be inspirational. Well, as points go, it is. Behind. And that gives Port Adelaide the lead.
Steph had the situation where all the Crows players were zoning off, not wanting to meet the player, and Wilson just strolled in, allowing him to have a shot at goal.
Michael Wilson said he'd cut Mark Williams' lawn regularly if he let him play in the midfield more often. That's how keen he is to get the ball in his hands in the middle. Ball comes to Goodwin. High kick towards half forward. Perry and Corns. Been a good battle so far. Henshaw just pushed by Sean Burgoyne in the back, but gently enough, according to the umpire, to make it legal.
Ian Perry took it a while to get up then.
How do you see that one? Is that a push in the back or a push in the bum?
Well, he didn't fall over, so it wasn't a big enough push to knock him off his feet. So that's play on, I reckon.
Big enough push to make him miss the kick.
Oh, it's not a good game for the clumsy. Tossed it on the 50. Brogan, clean possession. Down to James, the master of the quick hands. Kane Corns up towards the wing. Thurstons, was he tackled in midair? Yes, he was. He'll get the free kick.
Now, you see all the Crows in shot there. There's four of them, and they're running, guarding thin air at the moment. See the Port Adelaide bloke side on? As soon as the whistle goes, you've got to get a man up against Port Adelaide.
Laid, almost. Doughty, clever. Now McLeod needs to be precise. Finds Bassett. Bassett's on the wing.
McLeod started on the half-forward flank, picked up by Kane Corns. So they've taken Kane Corns out of the centre with that matchup.
Ben Rutten, centre half back. He's been good since coming into this team. Bock. A couple of bounces. Oh, has what? Goes out towards the outer side. Perry's in front, closing his Corns, took him down. Well done by Corns. Great recovery. Bounces obligingly for Lade. Sweeping hand pass over the top. Pickett, and it knocked away by Doughty. In goes Bock. Play on's the call. Pickett pleads his case. Bock. Too tall for Clark. And the mark is taken by Brogan. Burgoyne. Back inside the forward 50. Cassisi lurking behind the pack. Will it sit for him? Running to the pocket. Downey's got him. Tries to flick it across to Wanganeen. No pass there. Knocked out by John Cock. Plays it to his own advantage. Well played, Crows. Short one around the corner. Rutten can go over the top. It's on for him. Needs to get to Stenglein. He does now. Stenglein, the defensive side of the wing. Goes to half forward. Burton launches himself. Missed it completely. Hand pass from Henschel around the boundary. Corns missed everybody. But it's out of bounds.
Hicks, it is noticeable, and I pointed out before how Adelaide over the last couple of months have really dropped off in their tackling, and they are 16th over the last 8 games for tackles. But this is a focus today. You can see that already.
It is. They haven't allowed them to break the tackle, and that's one of the teams like Port Adelaide have great body strength, but haven't been able to break the tackles today.
Palm to Goodwin, goes to full forward. Down there with Jericho, couldn't bring the mark in. Wilson the crumb. Long high kick. He's hoping for Montgomery. Doesn't get there in time to go the mark. Might seek the sanctuary of the boundary line. Little toe poke. Boundary line looming up. And with a little bit of assistance from Martin Matner, takes it across the line. It was fun to watch, and this showdown has been fun to watch. Typical showdown heat in the opening 13 minutes of this contest.
It's uncrows like this ball, and there's only about 3 or 4 pairs around the stoppage.
James, tackled by McLeod, and we'll get a ball up just the Adelaide Crows side of the members' grandstand wing. There is the tackle count. Port Adelaide 13, Adelaide 9.
Adelaide would like this situation as Clark there, and like you said, Dermot, there's a bit of space. They've got Goodwin and they've got McLeod, so if they get into space, they can really run onto it.
Over the top, Clark. Thumps at about 25 metres. Stenglein taken to ground, but not before he got it to Goodwin. Goes with the outside of the boot. Perry hands to it, couldn't hang on. Burgoyne put the body in. I thought deserving of a free kick, and he's going to get it. Not sure he got the first one, but he got the second one.
The umpire from the middle of the ground played that one. There was an umpire a bit closer that let it go.
Here's Wilson. Corns. Chad Corns. To the wing. Wakeland. Will he get there in time? No. It's with Jericho as it goes out of bounds. Port Adelaide 1-1-7. Adelaide a goal. We played 14. We've got just over 9 till quarter time.
There was an interesting situation there where Kane Corns went to Tyson Edwards. As soon as that happened, Tyson Edwards went to the goal square and forced Corns to run back up the field and get back on ball.
They want to keep him out of the middle, don't they?
Yeah.
Rashido's kick off the side of the boot. Schofield rides the tackle, gives to James, holding the ball according to the umpire.
Yeah, this is too obvious, Bix. This is, I mean, it's really standing out. They are really working on their tackles here. And Port Adelaide, they're a possession team. That's how you play them. You've got to dispossess them. They're always going to get it.
Thing line to Goodwin. High kick, full forward. Burton flies and Perry comes up with the ball.
Now, Ian Perry hasn't had an effect on the game so far. Just having a look at his stats. Well, he hasn't had a touch yet, except for this mark, but he's competed very, very well so far. Dubious first hands on call.
You said he hadn't had a touch. He didn't have first touch.
He had a gather.
One thing about Perry, though, what they would want him to do is to lead up the ground. He's a very fit player, and by presenting up the ground, it makes Chad Corns become accountable, so he can't drop back and be that third man up and take those uncontested marks across Adelaide's half-forward line.
Only kicked 7 goals this season so far. Ian Perry lines them up and scores a level.
Still went through the goal. In soccer, that's a goal.
Maybe there is a football god who just didn't allow that to go through after seeing that free kick or that mark paid.
Roger James out of the back pocket, ambitious, got it to Carr, made it look okay. Little 1-2 with Kane Corns. Carr, probing kick, gets it to Montgomery, takes the tumbling mark. 2 great aerialists there, Montgomery and Burton. Montgomery off his step. Chad Corns takes the mark just inside the boundary line. He's run a long way moments ago. He was standing on the mark for Perry's kick at goal.
And they have to fill the space here, Dennis.
Yep, Perry standing the mark, as you can see, working both ways. The high ball in, loose at the back. Treadray knocked away by Dowdy. Treadray grabs it, snaps it, and it bounces against the post. So a boundary throw-in, 7 points apiece.
Montgomery coming off the ground. He's been opposed to Brett Burton, but Jew coming on in replace for him.
Interesting setup here. Brendan Lade takes the ruck, and he's against a tall defender rather than Matthew Clark, who's back on Brogan.
Dowdy, third man up, knocks it down in Pickett's direction. Normally likes these. Left foot, no doubt. Port back in front.
Hey, fellas.
New boots.
Yeah.
Mate, they're shockers. Nice work, yeah. He wouldn't know what work was.
Mum sick of tying your laces, was she?
Genuine vinyl? Nice.
Don't get them dirty.
Been paid out lately?
Keno, easy pick, thanks, mate.
Keno. Win it by the minute.
Hey, Dino. Keno.
When in doubt, he hit it to the boundary. Pickett, his bloke.
Got a feeling that'll make its way onto the tape he receives during the week, and he'll have a look at that over.
Will they be around to see it during the week from Crows?
He'll have a look at that over summer.
Clark burrowing in. Rashudo brilliantly done. Releases McLeod, runs to the wing, kicks towards half forward.
Ted Clark.
Henschel stretching out, but the ball beats him across the line. Clark slow to get up.
One in the eye, I think. Poke in the eye. And back down.
A boundary throw in about 60 metres out from Adelaide's attacking goal.
Adelaide, no ruckman here. Perry has to come up. Bigland's back in the goal square.
Brogan. They fought a draw. Down goes Wilson. The umpire immediately calling for it. Clark is coming off the ground.
Oh, yeah, thumb. Accidental. Would have hurt.
Brett Bigland's a bit slow to respond there. He probably should come up. You have to see Clark coming off.
Cut him some slack, Bix. He's a ruckman. He can't think that quick.
Got Stevens on the ground. Goodwin claimed immediately, but not for long enough. James taken high. Must get the free, Roger James. So he's at left half back.
I hope I don't run into Brett Bigland next week.
Fred Ray in characteristic fashion. That should be 50. Rashudo no business doing that. So as a result, 50 metres, and Fred Ray becomes more lethal as the man on the mark will be just outside the 50. And that's Bock taken back. So that a few times. Treadway looks towards the middle. Thurston's on a lead. Burton drops back, was pushed in the back, surely. And must get the free kick. Was it paid? Doesn't matter. Yes, it was. It's coming back. So it does matter.
That was a clear case of, oh, I know my limitations. No, we'll take the free kick.
Here's Burton there. Towards the wing. Will it get there in time? McLeod was up. Coming back hard was Thurston's. He's putting himself about. Thurston's clever kick. And Jew's got it right half forward.
Long kick of the ball, but not that long. So it goes to Treadway, and he takes the strong mark. The big assignment for Nathan Block. Game number 18 to play on arguably the best player in the comp.
In situations like that, you really need some assistance from your teammates. Like the midfielder just had to get back there a bit quicker. Jew got back quickly, wheeled around. You need someone just in front of players like Treadway, so they haven't got that room to move into, and it'll be pretty hard to stop that no matter who you are, I think.
His hero, Warren Treadway, was a Crow, even though he was a Port man born and bred. Scotty Hodges is the man that he modelled himself on as a kid. Scotty, to locals, known as a Port boy more than an Adelaide Crow player. Scotty would have put it through. Now, Warren's been kicking well this year.
Oh, right now, Radio Rentals is suffering from footy finals fever with the sickest prices in SA. Like this TAC widescreen TV, just $6.99 with a bonus set-top box. This LG 100Hz widescreen TV and DVD recorder is under $2 grand. And get a bonus screen with this Sony LCD projector. Plus, you can win an end-of-season footy trip for 4 to the Gold Coast. Rent cash or 30 months interest free during footy finals fever at SA's biggest electrical retailer. Now that's big!
Warren Treadway, 72 goals for the season, a club record. He got 7 in the last showdown. Rucks go at it. Biglands hooks it down behind. So Welsh out of the team, and now Biglands being forced to ruck. Jew out of the middle. Treadway, brilliant gather. Wonderful stuff. Twisting, turning, lays it off. Carr. Well, they got to him quickly, but he got the football back. Back to Treadway. Open goal beckons. Goes to Wanganeen. He prefers the snap, and I think he's got it. Porter's got their form.
The energy market's getting tough. Things are changing. We need an edge.
Well, let's look at the options.
Do you have the most rigorously trained accountant guiding your business? No one is better qualified than a chartered accountant to take your business in the right direction.
When would you like to start?
Let's start right now.
Chartered accountants. Employ our thinking.
So now the decision has to be made, you would think.
Well, it's 8 disposals in 20 minutes, 22 minutes. You extrapolate that out from centre-half forward, that's 32.
Or do you wait till quarter time? Edwards, McLeod, now Goodwin. Inside 50, sees the lead come, but Wakeland thumps it away from Stevens, who's now on. Schofield, Chad Corns manufactures a kick with the outside of his boot, nicely to Brogan, who holds it up. Probably hasn't had much sleep this week, Dean Brogan. Sister Michelle having won a couple of medals at the Olympics for the Opals, silver and bronze, and Opals winning silver last night as the ball rolls out of play on the wing.
Extrapolate. One cross to Canberra. You're sounding like Malcolm McKerris.
Well, the big Roo just put the leg out there, but you can see he also threw the arm out and attempted the tackle, so an instinctive reflex motion.
Brogan dives in as Rashido, who's tackled both of them. A little bit of Ramsgate in that as we go down to Michael Roberts.
Thanks, boys. And Matthew Clark, they were sitting on the bench, but they've taken him in the rooms to have a look at that eye. No blood, no nick over the eye, but definitely got a poke there.
Brogan knocked it down. Wilson taken high. Rashido working double time, tackling anybody and everybody. Well, he's a tackling machine.
The more you tackle, the more free kicks you give away, but you still have to keep going back to the well. All the players in the comp who have a lot of frees against them receive a lot because they tackle a lot. They get them and they give them.
And you lose friends. Jew, Miss Schofield, Danny. Now Edwards, right half back. Towards the wing. Is it Wheeler? No, doesn't matter. Biglands has got it.
You just cannot illustrate how good a kick that is under pressure and put it to advantage.
He's going for Burton. That's very ambitious. Well, Burton up with the springboard. It's taken by Lane. Chance now. Pickett. He can run to 50. He can measure the kick and post there fifth. Wow.
Oh, Brett Burton staying at the ground.
Did him.
You don't have to drag him off now.
Was there a bigger sigh of relief anywhere in the stadium than from Brett Burton when Byron missed that shot there? Just wanted to feel the body and use him as a springboard, but he didn't really have to. He could have just stood his ground and marked it without jumping.
The problem with that, Vix, is that players like that go for the screamer and they're watching the man to get the lift. Just watch the ball, jump, and grab the ball where you'd mark it anyway.
That was always my theory.
Oh, John Cox straight down the middle of the ground. Hoping for Bach, off hands Goodwin's, got it, gets the handball out. Finally it comes back again. He's about to get caught, just got the kick. Off the side of the boot did Bach. Now a chance for Biglands, bends down, it was a long way down there. Good tackle, Wanganeen, Carr. Tried to shuffle it out in Pickett's direction, he wanted to pick off Bach. High kick, and it's on behind players, Wanganeen takes them on. In the centre of the ground, though, it's the Adelaide Crows who've got possession. McLeod wants to play on it. It'll come back to Perry, and it's
now they've got a room
behind play at the moment.
They've got to leave room here for Jericho. Jericho's the quick kid from the Gospel. He's going to go shorter and wider. Will it get there? But it gives Port Adelaide a chance to set up now and get defensive men in there. Play on, play on.
Dowdy. Edwards just outside the 50. Sends it long and strong. I think it's okay. Fantastic kick.
At Amy, we reward good drivers with lower premiums. That's why we're introducing Amy's new Flexi Premiums. Now, by bearing your excess, you can save up to an amazing 50% off your comprehensive motor insurance. So why pay full premium when new Flexi Premiums let you choose the amount that suits you? So if you want to save up to 50%, get lucky. Call Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Hard to know what to watch, the play or what's happening just behind it. Goodwin took a little bit of a dive, and Byron Pickett just letting him know that, hey, it's showdown. There's no easy possessions here. But Goodwin wouldn't know that. Bounce. Dying stages, opening term, which has been enjoyable to watch, but more so for Port Adelaide fans. They hold a handy 13-point lead.
Stuart Jew's just been good since coming on. He's been really lively. Sometimes you get that reprieve late, you can really play well.
Not a great bounce. Over the top, Montgomery. With the path of Burgoyne, runs to the wing, kicks down towards half forward. Plenty of Crows coming at the football. Bounce accommodating Tyson Edwards, who finishes beautifully again. Now Burton sent into space. Crows searching for their third goal. The clock running down inside the last minute of the term. Well played by Burgoyne, short. Won the football. Great evasion. Goes to Montgomery on the outer side. Chumming hard out there was Goodwin, got a fist on it. It was good hard running, and maybe, just maybe, the kick showing too much of the ball to the Crow.
All right, Vix. There's some real antagonism going on out there. Just who's out there today that was out at the back of the Rams game? What are we looking at?
I wasn't there, mate. Of course, I was tucked away in bed, but there's be half a dozen from each team, I'd suggest.
Ball back into play. Carr to Peter Burgoyne. Is Darryl Wakeland forgiven you yet? Vix, high kick towards the wing.
I hope so.
He gets reminded about it every time he goes through the metal detector at the airport. Short kick towards half forward, and Burton's taking the mark.
Oh, that's most of it.
I think it's not out of character, though, for this kind of contest to see those clashes. In fact, if you didn't see them, you'd be worried, because everything is at stake when these two teams meet each other. Off hands of Perry. Henschel had it, lost it. Corns. Wilson. Carr. Wilson. Kicks it long and high. Hoping for Treadray. With him Bach. Did he give the free away? He's given the ball away. Treadray's got it. Port Adelaide. Dying seconds. Might be a chance. Laid. High to full forward. Off hands to Crum. All important here. Picked up by Casensi. Time doesn't beat him. Port Adelaide last score of the opening term.
What a timely one as well. 19 points is the lead here. Some big possession getters. Warren Treadray with 9 possessions at centre-half forward looms as the most dominant player on the ground. 5-2, 32, Port Adelaide Power. The Adelaide Crows, 2-1, 13.
The agony is unbelievable.
It's like having a hot knife randomly jabbed throughout your body.
She's just been stung by the most poisonous creature on Earth, tiny, deadly, and on our beaches.
I didn't think people should die from a jellyfish.
Also, eat, drink, and be merry.
The hallelujah diet.
How the French lose weight and live longer. And the Fame Game. Charles Woolley hangs out with Matt Damon. Toyota presents 60 Minutes, 7:30 tonight.
Hold on! Hold on!
The Primus One plan is making life more simple for everybody because it means you'll never pay for local calls. You'll enjoy frustration-free internet and your line rental is included. All this for one simple fee of $55 per month with dial-up internet. And now you can supersize to Primus One with broadband for just $15 extra per month. That's Primus One. Go on, change. Call now.
The right balance of vitamins can help you get the best from your diet. For energy-releasing multivitamins, try Nature's Way Energy Multis for men and women.
I know a bit about footy, but when I need a mobile phone, I go to Crazy John's for the best Telstra deals.
Get the latest Nokia 7610 with built-in megapixel camera that records up to 10 minutes of video, and we'll give you a Nokia Bluetooth car kit absolutely free. Only from Crazy John's and only while stocks last. Call 132299 for your nearest location. We'll beat any deal. That's why Crazy John's are the National Dealer of the Year award winner.
The best deals are crazy deals.
I know. You're a housing trust tenant, so you haven't even thought about buying a place. Well, you're missing out on creating an asset for your future. If you've been paying housing trust rent of more than $150 a week, Homestart could help you build equity in a house you own. Just ring Homestart and see if you qualify. Hey, rent money's dead money, believe me.
Homestart. That's smart. A2 milk. It's got a few different faces, and now it's available in lots of places. A2 milk. It's not just good, it's better than good.
Is your dandruff on full blast? Turning people off? Garnier Fructis Fortifying Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Created with pyrithium zinc. It blows dandruff flakes away. It's proven. Garnier Fructis makes hair up to 5 times stronger and so much shinier. So effective, not a trace of a flake. Kiss those flakes goodbye. Garnier Fructis Fortifying Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Give your hair the strength to shine.
At the new time, 8:30 Thursday, we are fearless.
You might not survive this operation.
We are all born to die one day. We are thankful.
This is number 2. Oh, she's beautiful.
We are RPA.
At the new time, 8:30 Thursday.
Followed at 9 by the series premiere of Bodywork with Susie Wills.
Where we look at what's available in the brave new world of plastic and reconstructive surgery.
Brand new Bodywork follows RPA, 9 o'clock Thursday on 9.
This AFL coverage proudly brought to you by Toyota, Primus Telecom, and Chartered Accountants.
$40 for the match, 10 a quarter. They've virtually doubled that this opening quarter. Adelaide really stuck some tackles hard as well, but those 18 tackles from Port Adelaide, that has forced Adelaide into 12 clangers, kicks that have turned over to the opposition. Immense pressure. And Adelaide are having a dip back the other way. Make no mistake about it. It's a ripping contest here, despite the rough 3-goal lead to Port Adelaide. Let's go down on the boundary now and go to another rough head. No, I'm only joking, Robbo.
Thanks, Dermot. I tell you what, most of the Port Adelaide huddle was looking to see whether Matthew Clark was going to come out of the dressing room. He has. I tell you what, it was more than a poke in the eye. It's actually swelled up the left eye. He's got ice on it now. He's on the bench, but the big fella will be all right. And also Brent Riley, number 33, right ankle, had that re-strap. I think he's out on the ground. He is out on the ground now, so hopefully he's okay in the second quarter.
Thank you, Robbo. Fix that right ankle on Riley. Is that an ongoing concern, or is it just done today?
He missed a week, 2 weeks ago, so it's obviously something that's probably not 100%, but just getting it tightened up, I guess. If you look at Port Adelaide in the midfield now, they've got some of their hard nuts. They've got Carl, obviously, he's in there, but Hartwick's in there and James. Very sound midfield.
It'd be nice touch just at the end of the year. Burgess Meredith walked down to the Crows dugout and Clark said, "Cut me, Mickey."
19-point lead for Port Adelaide starting this second term. Showdown 16. It's a sellout live on TV in South Australia, and it's been
that's pretty
a fiery opening term, and I think it is fairly serious because he hasn't been able to come on and start this second quarter, and they're already a big man down.
3-man forward line for the Adelaide Crows, 4-man forward line for Port Adelaide from this bounce.
James to Carr, sends play inside the 50. Thurstons again. He's quick for a big man.
Good foil, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good pace. He's not a big goal kicker. Kicks a couple here and a 3 there, but good pace, draws away. Warren Treadray does most of the goal kicking. Warren actually, with his 71 to the start of this match, is Port Adelaide's highest ever goal kicker in a season. Scotty Cummings held that with 70.
That's right. Poor old Scotty out of the record books now. There goes Thurstons. Very wayward kick out of bounds on the full and the right full forward pocket. So if they get the next goal, Port, the alarm bells will sound for Adelaide. And look at that. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Cause for concern. Not only this afternoon. Nasty injury. John Cockshort to Bock. He's in the back pocket. Rutten comes. Gets it. Low down. Bit laborious bringing it out. He's a left half back. And limited where he can go next. Looking towards the middle, but there's nothing there.
And Lade sitting down the line by himself. Because to come over.
In his direction. Perry, almost the mark, was tucked in midair to get the free kick. So Ian Perry right on the wing.
He's allowed a run up of that. You see Corns just hits himself. He goes for his own mark, and he just allows his play every now and then to get a run and a jump of the contest.
Perry from the wing. Port Adelaide man on man ahead of him, so he goes into the centre corridor. Goodwin wants to play onto advantage.
He can come back out this side if he wants.
Back to Bock. And Bock's got a panic. Thought about a bounce. Goes with a wobbly kick in the direction of Burton with nowhere near him. Montgomery takes the mark. Nothing worse than when you get 3 or 4 metres on your man in the forward line and they kick it to your man.
That's not the principle of the game.
No. Montgomery picked up by Mark Williams after Mark Williams coached him with Essendon reserves. Gives it to Bishop. Long kick from him to Kane Corns. Couldn't pick this one up. Brogan, toe poke to his own advantage. McLeod with him, jumps on him, rides him. How the umpire said, holding the ball.
Super clever by Andy McLeod. Brogan went to ground thinking, I'm going to get immediate contact. He's off and running now, but he waited till he rolled, then dumped on him.
Around the boundary he goes, pulls it back towards the middle. Bishop was there, so too Jericho working behind. The hand pass came from Montgomery to Hardwick. Kicks it out towards the wing. Carr, meters in the clear. Where will he go? Why not to Treadray? Rutten now has got him. Treadray, almost a clever mark. Found it very quickly on the ground, but couldn't control it. And it goes across the line. Well, the demeanour of Dean Brogan better this afternoon than it was 8 days ago or 9 days ago on Friday Night Football.
That could change.
I think he's been spoken to.
Port Adelaide now have the matchup they want. Treadray dropped back into the goal scorer, and they've got Treadray and Rutten, and if they can get some space in front, Treadray's always going to beat him on the lead.
The boundary throw in, just inside the forward 50. Lade and Bock, not a good matchup as far as Adelaide are concerned. Matner sockers it forward to right half back, where Stenglein leads, closing his car, took him down, and the ball hugs the boundary for a while and then trickles across as we go down to Robbo.
Speaking of Tyson Stenglein, the whisper out of the Port Adelaide camp before the game, Damien Hardwick was going to take him. Every time Stenglein goes near the ball now, he's getting his right whack, so look out for that.
Back into play, Biglands and Brogan. Peter Burgoyne tried to steal it. Edwards, it's in Peter Burgoyne's direction. Kick off the deck by Carr is good. Lade, bumped off it, gathers it, chips it. Byron might mark it. And Byron Pickett will go back and have a shot at goal from about 40 metres out. And Port Adelaide need him to fire if they're to make a statement in September. Had his character almost assassinated by the Herald Sun not long ago when they said that he was a punch-drunk pug living off old hits and memories, which was a bit harsh. He's still a very, very good player, Byron Pickett.
It's Richard.
He's actually coached as a kid by Graham Johncock's dad, Melly Park, and he lines this up. Pulled it, I think. And he's only kicked the behind. As we go down to Michael Roberts.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brent Riley's come off the ground with that ankle injury, that right ankle injury. It's given him problems. Begley on the ground now for Amy Stadium.
That was a bad miss by Byron Pickett. Don Cock outside the 50. Rutten dropped it. Chance for Rashuda. Burgoyne went in hard. Rashuda got it out, though, into the path of Edwards. Edwards at half back. That was Pickett who missed him. Bassett, whipping hand pass, back to Rashuda. He's caught at half back, kicks beyond the wing. Perry will need to go, and he does. Good sprawling mark by the big man. And again, it's clearing behind the play. Lade having a bit to say to Hayden Kennedy. Meantime, Adelaide chip it around. Biglands has it. Just outside half forward, kicks inside the forward 50. Too easy for the defender. Bishop knocked it down for trouble into the path of McLeod. Getting back Burgoyne. Sean just knocks it across the line.
Young Luke Jericho, I don't think he's strong enough in the hands yet to mark the ball at the pace he's having to come out of the goal scorer. As we said, Brendan Lade go down. If we hold it long enough, we watch Lade's left hand, second one, up into the face. Yeah, Jericho's not able to hang on to the ball on the lead. There's a little bit too much heat down there. You almost be inclined to let him run up the field and take his defender out.
Big kick to the other side, stolen by Perry. Sends it back inside 50. Wilson takes the mark, and Port Adelaide can reload from defence. James on the wing, uses his body pretty well against Stenglein. Can he pick it up? Yes. Gives to Montgomery, has a bounce, runs to 50, chips the pass in the direction of Marnie. Forced to go the punch, off hands, Wangan somehow through 4 Crows, back to Marnie, wide kick. And will it scrape through for a behind? It has just the minor score, but it's now a 20-point lead to Port Adelaide, their biggest lead of the game so far, and you wouldn't think Brendan Lade would spend much more time on the field.
No.
He's got blood coming out profusely there.
John Cock with a long kick. Scott Stevens stood his ground, took the mark, and allowed the square. The defensive side of centre for the Crows. Bock is on. Will he use it? Yes, he will. Comes out to Bock, forward of half back. Now Edwards is running. Bock saw that, but then tricked himself a little bit.
He didn't play on. He cocked the handball, but he didn't move off the mark. So that is the correct call by the umpire. Good umpiring.
Not his best move.
Watch here.
To go to Edwards.
Doesn't move off the mark. You can spread your legs if you want. Now he's off the mark.
We can do that. The ball comes back towards centre half back. It's taken by Bassett, who goes square again. Now Rutten. Stenglein runs hard, but Hardwick mate with him, closes him down. He goes beyond that then, towards the half-forward line and Matner, but reaching over the top, Treadray, putting his stamp on this game to midfield and Burgoyne. Now he can run. Peter Burgoyne in midfield. Has a bounce, going down towards half-forward. What about the hand pass? Measures the kick, demands a bit of Pickett. And Pickett going back with the flight of it has taken the mark. It was almost the kick demanding the move of the receiver that time, and Pickett almost force-fed by Peter Burgoyne.
Just had to check that he was watching there, Dennis. He just kicked it over the top. He knew Pickett had space behind him and just sat it up so he was able to run under it. And Michael Doherty had his back to it and couldn't really do anything about it.
They had 5-on-2 in favour of Adelaide inside forward 50. So it required someone like Pickett to run in there from outside.
This becomes a big kick now. If he kicks this, it starts to get in that range where it's hard to come back from you. Don't like to be 6 or 7 down.
Well, he goes short, and why not? Treadway, 30 metres out, slight angle. And again, getting very busy. Moments ago, had it in defence.
You mentioned earlier in the call about Rutten, perhaps not as quick as Bock off the mark. So when Treadway goes right back to full forward and Rutten has to pick him up, he must feel very confident with space in front of him. Just on the takeoff, he's always going to get a metre, and if the delivery is good, he's a very good chance of getting it.
He's taken 5 marks today, his best effort against Adelaide. 12. And he steers this one through. Treadway gets his second.
So what, your boots set you back?
About $80.
Could have bought new ones for that.
Been paid out lately? Keno, with over 400 payouts per hour, you could win it by the minute.
Call Jim's Mowing on 131 546 and we'll not only mow your lawn, we'll also clean up your yard. Call your local Jim for more than just mowing.
A very accurate 73 goals, 38 for the season now to Warren Treadway. Ball up in the middle. James gets the takeaway. Treadway's under this one as well. He's got it! And within range.
Has he got the carry with the wind there from down there, Robbo?
No wind at all, really. If anything, it's going right of screen, but absolutely no wind. Shouldn't affect his kick.
Did you think was that a free fix?
It looked like he was a little bit manhandled, but the right probably would have paid it. Dwayne, to be honest.
Yeah. May well win the Brownlow medal, Warren Treadway. He may need 3 votes this afternoon to clinch it, given Rewalt's great round this round and Judd's good round. And what were we saying about his accuracy not long ago? Yeah. Still, that's a long kick, isn't it? That's right from the perimeter.
That shot from behind, though, when I was watching it, thought he was actually running where it went. He actually ran to the left-hand goalpost on his approach.
Begley back in the team this afternoon. Up towards right half back. 41 plays 14. So for the moment at least, Port not taking their chances. And Adelaide learning all about the chasm between top and where they are on the ladder. As the kick comes from Matner, Biglands pokes it forward, finds it on the ground, goes to Perry. The big guy Perry running out of space. Brogan has it, tries to go back to Corns. Perry, Corns got him. In goes Stenblind, claimed by Lade. And eventually the ball trickles across the boundary. So Lade has done some running repairs, and that flow of blood seems to have been stemmed.
They just don't have an avenue to goal, do they, Adelaide? As they come down the wing, they can't find anyone at centre-half forward who can really give them something to shoot at.
2 ruckmen go at it for Port Adelaide, Brogan and Lade, who wins it down in the direction of Carr. Slipped from his grasp. Stenblind inside 50. Rashudo now up there. They need him to kick a couple. Perry, that's a brilliant tackle by Wilson. Wrapped him up. In fact, he did the wrong thing by taking the ball off him. The umpire wouldn't pay the free. Perry, Corns, he's caught. Jericho's got him. McLeod, Perry, high kick, but under it James takes it. Bishop. Carr, Schofield, they're away. Where's Treadway? There he is. Almost got it for too high. Might get it anyway. Wangan leaves it for him. Shepherds, and Treadway drives it home. He's got 3.
Oh, right now, Radio Rentals is suffering from footy finals fever with the sickest prices in SA. Like this Pioneer DVD recorder, now just $7.99. Oh, this Acer notebook is now way under $2 grand. Kick off your home theatre with this Panasonic receiver and speaker system for $5.99. Plus, you can win an end-of-season footy trip for 4 to the Gold Coast. Rent cash or 30 months interest free during footy finals fever at SA's biggest electrical retailer. Now that's big.
Warren Treadway putting on a clinic now, a total of 23 goals in showdowns. This, the most recent. And he goes and gets his third of the afternoon. And in the modern game, we're well served by centre-half forward, said to be the most difficult position on the ground to play. Well, look around the league at the moment. Nick Revolt, Jonathan Brown, tossing the coin this afternoon, Wayne Carey. Exciting. And still more to come because those guys I mentioned, with the exception of Carey, still young. Edwards, juggled attempt at the mark. In goes Carr, taken down by Edwards. We'll have a bounce on the wing.
You forgot the big bloke up in Sydney too. He can play a bit. The balding head, Barry Hall.
Well, yes, but more a full forward. I thought you were going to say you. I was getting to you.
That is very forgetful.
There's the bounce. Oh, over the top, Brogan. Crash down. Good one goes, but it's coming back. It's going to be a free kick, I think, to Port. The umpire initially pointing the wrong way. Work that out. A tangle of bodies there. Adelaide comes up with the free.
Port Adelaide employing two ruckmen then. Laid to hold Biglands and then, of course, Brogan over the top.
Laid down towards half forward. Rutten goes back. His confidence would be sagging, so he needed that mark. Well done. Left half back. Bassett on for the short one.
Now this
again, restricted.
Second time they've been in this position down the half-back flank, this corner. And they've got to do the same again.
Yes, and Lade is lurking again. Biglands will fly from behind, try to help the ball on its way. Burgoyne put on the brakes, tried to hand pass across to Bishop. It skids out of bounds. We've got a boundary throw in.
"15 minutes played. Just under 9 minutes and some time on remaining. Brogan couldn't get near the contest that time. Biglands down to Goodwin, tackled. And we will get another ball up on the wing.
Mark Rashudo for the last 10, 12 minutes has been in the forward line. Remains there still against Michael Wilson.
Ball up. Stengline. It's the ball going in the direction of Rashudo. Just caught behind Wilson a bit. Still gets it. Brilliance. Gives to Goodwin. Kicks toward goal. And the Crows get one made by Root.
As you can see, business is booming. We're bursting at the seams. Let's look at some ways to deal with it.
There are different types of accountants. They may seem similar, but they're not the same. Chartered accountants are renowned for their rigorous training, so make sure the person advising your business is chartered.
There's a few systems we can bring in straight away. We can do that.
Chartered accountants. Employ our thinking.
Simon Goodwin coming off 25 possessions last week and 2 goals. Bounce, Biglands, kick starting his side, punching it down towards half forward. Perry knocked it back. Stengline tackled, got a boot away though. Charging in Jericho from the opposite direction, Carr. He was taken down. Kane Corns got it to Wilson, who hurt himself there. Burgoyne bouncing up towards the wing. Hesitates. Little chip. There was nothing on. They're going to get a reload free kick. And a bit of a scuffle behind play.
Pretty harmless. Umpire's on the scene.
I need machetes for you to call it anything but harmless. Now, Marnie's got the football forward of the wing. Little chip inside the 50. Good mark taken by Stevens. Like him as a player, Scott Stevens.
We know, Dennis.
I said that before. Nobody listens. He started on the bench again today. What's going on? Short one. Dowdy from behind Marnie. Fisting away. Stewie, it's behind you. It's out of bounds.
And they've got to dish it up to Port Adelaide here, the Crows. And they've got to reapply their focus straight away back onto the ball. And Stewie Dew got a bit tough then, and then the Roo walked over and he thought, yeah, I've had my little day in the sun, a minute in the sun.
We say that approach to the ball was dubious.
There's the bloke you like on the bottom of that pack, Dennis.
Spotty?
Yes.
Get up, son.
Is he in your book?
No.
Volume 2?
Well, maybe.
Is he going to make it into your top 10?
It's in his hands. I can't do any more.
Bounce. Ball knocked down by Biglands to Rashudo eventually. Dowdy. Half played for the free. Whether the umpire wanted to give it or not, he didn't. And we'll get a ball up on attacking 50.
Yep.
Not much in that. Probably better served just getting the footy and trying to get it out.
You do see them paid occasionally, and that tempts players to play for them. Ball up. James, caught. Got it after the tackle by Edwards to Rashudo. Well played by Edwards. Rashudo got it to Sting line, left it behind, and we'll get another ball up at half forward for Port Adelaide. We've played 18 and a half minutes. It was, in fact, Matner who
I know
lost
it wasn't
possession.
a perfect hit to Matner, but his hands were terrible then. It was almost, he just didn't place them around the ball as it came to him.
19 minutes played, about the tick into time on second term, and it's been hot in the kitchen, in the clinches so far this term. Matner, speaking of hot, got it out of the kitchen. Towards half forward, Goodwin got the kick away just in time. Bouncing ball for Perry, Corns, Perry, Corns. Got the kick away just in time. Ball still alive. Trying to get it out, Jericho. They're diving in left, right and centre. McLeod won't let Kane Corns get away with it, and we'll get a bounce inside 50 for the Crows.
Now, that was a let-off for Port Adelaide. It was an ugly spin on the ball, but
Michael Roberts on the boundary.
Getting very dark down here, but Chad Corns, he's got some ribs heavily strapped. He was in that push and shove at centre-half back, not feeling comfortable.
Lade knocked it up in the air. Burgoyne down to Schofield. Haven't seen a lot of him. Off the ground out wide. Go and get his own ball. Well, could have been taken high. Well played, Schofield. Slaps it out. Paddled towards the line by Thurstons. And he takes it across. Under 5 minutes till half-time. Just a glancing blow. Takes a lot of pride in his do, too, Schofield. He's angry now. Throw in on the outer side. Hooked down by Biglands. We've got some misting rain, have we? It's not far away. If it's not here already, Rashudo.
Recovery.
Edwards, centering kick. Tailor-made for Bishop. They've got a fist on it. Kane Corns. Perry trying his heart out. Took him down. Slow release that ball. Henschel worked off it by Chad Corns. Well done by McLeod. They've got a hand on it. Eventually we've got a whistle. That's Wilson at the base of that. About 35 metres out from Adelaide's attacking goal. They trail by 27.
This is really heartening for Craig, the coach of Adelaide. The amount of tackles applied by the Adelaide forwards, this is fantastic work.
4 minutes to half-time. Biglands wins it down. Carr through traffic. McLeod chasing. Chips it wide. James or Edwards. James will be content with the boundary line, with Edwards and Rashudo right next to him.
Adelaide, they just need to get some reward for effort here. They've probably stemmed the momentum that Port had early in that second quarter. Now they just need to get 1 or 2 goals just to reward them for their effort and the pressure they're putting on.
Back into play. Lade, front spot, Biglands. Peter Burgoyne takes them on. Stingline waits under it. Good chance here for Lade. Ball shuffled out to him. Gave it to Cochrane. Long kick. Wanganeen. Stevens over the top. Couldn't bring it down, Dennis. Jew gives to Wanganeen. No one to kick to. Goes to Marnie. He to Thurstons. He towards goal from 50 metres out. Across the face. Only a behind.
Oh, almost, Dennis, but he brought it back into the centre for them.
Would have paid it.
In slow-mo you could.
John Cock
held it long enough in that.
Don't put this on him. Towards the outer side, Treadway goes back and takes the mark. Look what I did for Clive. Treadway's got the ball about 70 metres out. 28 points the difference. Terrific showdown, but Port just a bit too good at the moment. Adelaide, not the lack of trying. This is Bishop. Inside the centre square. Burgoyne getting plenty of it. Lade stretches, takes the mark. Well, got free, and they had him in a triangulation there, Adelaide. 3 players in all directions around him, but Lade able to take the mark.
Lade's form the last month has been spectacular. When Brogan was out injured for a couple of weeks with his ribs, Lade just stepped up to the plate. Almost they look better with him in the middle doing a lot of the ruck work because his mobility around the ground is so good, and he's probably in Port's top 1 or 2 kicks at goals from this distance, so I'm pretty confident he'll just go back and slot this through.
He can thump them.
You wouldn't want that for the passport photo.
Looks like a minty.
Big goal, this one, if he kicks it.
Chewy.
Let's hope he doesn't chew it.
Well, his boot. Here he comes. Didn't work. Wonderful kick, Brendan Lade.
featuring a new 5-speed auto with sports mode active select and Holden's all-new high-performance 190-kilowatt alloy tech V6. The new Commodore SV6. There's no holding back.
Brendan Lade. It's moments like these. 24 minutes played, 2 to go to half-time. Bounce. Biglands gets the slap away towards half-forward. Bouncing ball, Corns. Kicked it off the deck. The chance here for Shirley. Started on the bench. Half held there by Kane Corns. Umpire saw it. Hencher wants to play on. Well, is that advantage? Umpire can't bring it back now. Out of bounds on the full. Less than 2 minutes to the long break.
The umpire obviously didn't know that Trent Hencher was not very good on his left foot.
He did look back at the umpire, though, to see if he was going to pay it or not, and he kept running just in case, so the umpire was obligated to allow it to flow on.
Was the onus on Henschel to pull up, knowing he's not as good on his left?
It'd be tough, though, wouldn't it? Actually stop, you get tackled, you'd look like a deal.
Corns boots it in. Shirley gets a hand pass away. Matner to Rashudo. Floats one into about 30 metres out. Perry was pushed in the back. He's causing Jack Corns a few problems.
Because he can mark overhead.
He's willing to work.
Yeah, and he goes short here.
Mark is taken by Edwards, who turns around and gets Adelaide's form. They're hanging tough.
Hold on! Hold on!
The Primus One plan is making life more simple for everybody because it means you'll never pay for local calls. You'll enjoy frustration-free internet and your line rental is included. All this for one simple fee of $55 per month with dial-up internet. And now you can supersize to Primus One with broadband for just $15 extra per month. That's Primus One. Go on, change. Call now.
Port Adelaide led by 19 points heading into this second term. There's the push on Perry. Chipped it over the top and Tyson Edwards was able to kick his second. Port Adelaide now lead by 28 points. 96 seconds to half-time. Over the top, Biglands knocked it down. McLeod knocked it further on. Shirley, too high, surely for Shirley. And he gets it in the middle. In fact, he hit the Shirley temple, it was that high. McLeod, Rashudo, long kick, high kick. Burton under it, can't take the mark. Corns crumbs. Box a chance here, couldn't get near it. Good kick from Corns in the end. Wakeland wide. Johncock gets there, takes the mark on the wing. Maybe a chance for one last Crow score.
Yes, inside the last minute of the half then, 54 players 26. They trail by 19 points in quarter time. And the clock continues to run. Johncock is right on the wing.
Well, there must be one player loose because Big Dean Brogan is sitting back by himself. So whoever is his corresponding loose man on the Crow side must get utilised here.
Bock inside the forward 50. Well, he tried to. That was a terrible kick. Just straight out to the right. And Wakeland able to take the defensive mark. Wakeland taking plenty of time now. No runner out there to advise either team, but they've got a fair idea how long there is to go, and it's down to 15 seconds. Rutten, Shirley. He's done a bit since he came on, Shirley, close to the boundary line. One last chance. Perry's in front. Loose ball at the back. Burton was struck by the foot. He needs to kick it. We're down to 2 seconds. Was it touched? It bounces towards the opposite pocket in any case. And it's half-time. And showdown number 16. And the man who's got a wonderful record, Mark Williams, heads for the change rooms. He's won 8 out of 11 since taking over in 1999. Half-time at Amy Stadium. That's Port Adelaide 86-54. Over the Crows 4-2-26. Stick around.
This news break is brought to you by the bank that helps more South Australians own their home than any other lender.
Good afternoon. The federal election battle is officially underway. Prime Minister Howard announcing Australians will go to the polls on October the 9th. He met with the Governor-General this morning, then gave his argument to be elected for a fourth term. And police are investigating a terrifying hold-up at the Theberton Hotel. 4 men armed with a gun and knife threatened staff and then fled with cash. It's understood they may be responsible for a spate of robberies in recent weeks. All the details plus Olympic highlights, of course, coming up at 6.
At the new time, 8:30 Thursday, we are fearless.
You might not survive this operation.
We are all born to die one day. We are thankful.
This is number 2. Oh, she's beautiful.
We are RPA at the new time, 8:30 Thursday on 9.
Hold on! Hold on!
The Primus One plan is making life more simple for everybody because it means you'll never pay for local calls. You'll enjoy frustration-free internet and your line rental is included. All this for one simple fee of $55 per month with dial-up internet. And now you can supersize to Primus One with broadband for just $15 extra per month. That's Primus One. Go on, change. Call now.
Heavy-duty arc welder, 150 amp, $109, includes accessory kit. 12-volt cooler warmer, 5.5 litre, $39.99, 20% off.
They're totally naked. With binoculars. It's not like she'd see anything.
Cougar, never happen till you tell your mates.
Someone's cooking chicken.
Someone's cooking bacon.
What a combination.
Country crumb chicken plus bacon with barbecue sauce, fresh lettuce and mayo on a long bun. That's Hungry Jack's irresistible country chicken deluxe. Coming your way for $6.95 with regular Coke and fries.
Now you're talking chicken.
Deluxe.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Oh, right now, Radio Rentals is suffering from footy finals fever with the sickest prices in SA. Like this Simpson 7.5 kilo washer, just $7.49. This Fisher & Paykel dishwasher is only $7.99. And grab this 430 litre Kelvinator upside down fridge for $12.99. Plus you can win an end of season footy trip for 4 to the Gold Coast. Rent cash or 30 months interest free during footy finals fever at SA's biggest electrical retailer. Whoa, now that's big.
Repco doorbell now with 4 exciting sounds, $29.99. Roller sports and heavy-duty roof racks, 15% off. Sports 6-piece seat cover pack, $39.99.
Justice never dies. Cold case, September 7.
Doing the umpiring here in a Legends game preceding today's big match. Here at half-time, Adelaide Crows 4-2-26 trail the Port Adelaide Power 8-6-54 by 28 points. Bex, Mark Beckley, tell us about the goal kickers.
Yes, Tyson Edwards has been Adelaide's best. He snuck down and kicked 2. Simon Goodwin 1 and Rhett Biglan's 1 for the Port Adelaide Power. Warren Treadray, who's been fantastic so far, he's got 3. Pickett 1, Thurston's, Wanganeen, Cassisi and Lade also have 1 each.
Well, Port Adelaide opened up the first half with 8 goals. Warren Treadray was on fire and they've got some great avenue to goal through him, playing in the key forward post. Up against Bock for a start, but they were just on song in the forward half of the ground from the word go.
Well, it's a tough ask for anyone, let alone someone who's played 17 games of footy. So if you give him space like Port Adelaide do and put the ball out in front, very hard man to stop.
Classic forward play, that, isn't it? He's kicked 3 goals himself, but the ideal operation of a centre-half forward should be if you don't kick the goal, the next person after you who you give it to must kick the goal, and he does it there. You saw it before. He's figured in all these 3 opening shots at goal already.
He's very dangerous anywhere in his half of the ground. He leads up and presents on the wing when there's nothing else on. He gives a fierce contest on the ground. He's left and right foot, so look, he is just almost a complete package, and you see him once again. There's an assist, gives it to Gavin Wangan, who finishes off very nicely.
Josh Carr got his hands on the footy there as well. Big Brendan Lode pops one over to Thurston. A bit of a crumbing here. Cassisi, keep your feet, and you're always a show.
Well, he's been a great find from him, and Kane Corns this year really stepped up as far as on balls go. Had a real accountability as well in the midfield, which some have accused Port of not having in the past.
Big Warren, funny, he figured pretty prominently in those 8 goals, didn't he? For the Adelaide Crows, 4 for the first half, 4 goals that is, and big Rhett Biglands, he's been used up forward. We talked about that before the game. This is a great snap.
Well, his mobility is very good. He's one in the top half a dozen quickest players at the Adelaide Football Club, and you saw there, picked it up on the ground.
Is it top half dozen?
Yes, yeah, he's equal up there with Andrew McLeod and the likes, but got around his body very well. Tyson Edwards, who he said has been reasonably good here today. You saw this one. Mark Rochelle looked twice. As soon as he realised that Simon Goodwin was on his left foot, had no qualms all about giving to him, and he finished off very well.
He definitely wanted that goal himself, didn't he? But he thought, no, a lefty going past, just cruising past. Let's have a look at the going forward stats. As we said, at the top 8 for shots at goal, double there, inside 50s. The remarkable thing there, Bix, each equal on 22. Marks inside 50. That's why you've got 16 from 22 entries. Shots at goal for Port Adelaide. They've taken 8 marks in there.
Well, they certainly have the personnel, don't they? You've got Treadray, you've got Lade, Thurstons has also featured as well, and Adelaide just haven't had an avenue to goal. Perry's presented, gave them the contest, but he really hasn't been outstanding so far. Jericho, Henschel, Biglands has been forced to come forward, and he hasn't really featured too much in the forward line either.
Made comment in the first quarter, it was a focus of Adelaide's to get to some tackles, but gee, Port Adelaide come out as well, and they laid 18 tackles in 1 quarter for a team that's been averaging 10 a quarter. They doubled it, and as I said, both teams had a real dig. There's real feeling out there. The one way you can express some real physical emotion is tackling legally.
Absolutely, and Port Adelaide have sort of wondered whether it's a good thing to play a showdown in the last round before the final starts. But this is just great build-up for them for the finals, because it's such a hard-fought game, just like finals will be next week.
Well done there, Bix, and we've got Benny Hart. Now, Benny Hart is with Michael Roberts, and we'll be having him after the break, speaking to him. 28-point lead to the Port Adelaide Power.
This week on Postcards, a Far West Coast gallery with works by local Aboriginal artists, tales of bushrangers and drovers at a famous Riverland pub, and a tour around Blimman, the historic mining town in the Flinders, this afternoon on Postcards on 9.
At Amy, we believe that good drivers deserve to pay a lower premium. That's why we introduce new Flexi Premiums. Now you choose how much you pay and how much you save. With new Flexi Premiums, you can save up to 50% off your comprehensive motor insurance by choosing an excess level that suits you. And when you can save with Amy's Flexi Premiums, why pay full premium? So get lucky and call Amy now.
Lucky, yours, Amy. Is your dandruff on full blast? Turning people off? Garnier Fructus Fortifying Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Created with Pyrithium zinc. It blows dandruff flakes away. It's proven. Garnier Fructus makes hair up to 5 times stronger and so much shinier. So effective, not a trace of a flake. Kiss those flakes goodbye. Garnier Fructus Fortifying Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Give your hair the strength to shine.
Heavy-duty arc welder, 150 amp, $109, includes accessory kit. 12-volt cooler warmer, 5.5 litre, $39.99, 20% off.
What a combination!
Country crumb chicken plus bacon with barbecue sauce, lettuce and mayo on a long bun. That's Hungry Jack's Country Chicken Deluxe, $6.95 with regular Coke and fries.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Need some inspiration on what to get Dad for Father's Day? Then check out the new Bunnings Warehouse catalogue. 5-litre pressure sprayer alone $9.90. Set of 2 toolboxes $12.98. 210mm miter saw just $49. Petrol generator, great value at $98. 4-tier shelf unit $17.95. And dustpan and brush only 99 cents. We won't be beaten on price. And that's guaranteed.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Are you ready for the $500,000 mega showcase, including a luxury Queensland apartment and this Alfa Romeo? Get ready for Price's $500,000 mega showcase from 5 o'clock Monday on 9.
This AFL coverage proudly brought to you by Keno, Radio Rentals, and Toyota.
Half-time at Amy Stadium, it is raining. The rain is here, 28-point lead to Port Adelaide. Well, there's the crowd, they're out in the rain. Time now to check in with one of the champions of the Adelaide Crows Football Club, Benny Hart. He is with Michael Roberts. They don't mind the inclement weather, they're tough. Take it away, Robbo.
Thanks, Derm. And Benny, well, you've played in 13 showdowns, you've missed the last 3, and hamstrings have really ripped into you this year. Only played 6 games after playing 21 last year. Unfortunate to sit on the sidelines again.
Yeah, very frustrating. It's been an ordinary year in that sense for myself. Just reoccurring hamstrings, and now I've got a bit of calcification in there, which is holding me back. Yeah, they're great games to play in, and you know, Adelaide and Perth probably understand it a bit more than guys in Melbourne. But look, they're huge games and real finals atmosphere.
Walking around, and is it finals atmosphere? A couple of blokes leaned over there and said you're going to play on next year. Now, you're contracted for 2005. What, are you hanging up? You hanging the jumper up, or are you going to go on?
No, I'll keep going. I think I've got a few years left in me yet. This year, hopefully get all the bad luck out of the way. But yeah, it's amazing how many guys put it to you, whether or not you're hanging them up, or congratulations on a great career. But it's not over yet, so a few years left.
Aiming for the 300, are we?
Oh, that'd be nice to get to, nice number to get to. And, you know, you never set it in the back of your mind, but yeah, it would be nice. But we'll just continue, hopefully get rid of all these problems, and yeah, go on for another couple of years.
What about the first half? Now, they've got a powerhouse in Treadray. They guts it out though, haven't they, Adelaide? But you're playing 2 down. You didn't, Matthew Clark, if you had a chance to have a look at him, and how will he go in this second half? Will he come out again?
Yeah, he's not looking as great as he has. Matthew's got a big black eye, and I think he got a thumb in the eye, so he may struggle to come back on, and Brent Riley's hurt his ankle. So yeah, we're a couple down, and look, they've got a lot of great players who are hard to stop, and they seem to get a lot of flow, and when they're running the ball as smoothly as they are at times, Treadray's always in danger, and we're just a bit stop-start. So if we can get some of that flow, and I think Ian Perry's been probably one of our shining lights up forward, so if we can work through him, you know, we're still a chance.
How do you rate Port Adelaide? How do you rate this mob?
Oh, very good side, great side, and they probably deserve to be up the top of the ladder where they are. And you know, everyone focuses on a Treadray and guys like that, but they've got a lot of great players in and under, like Roger James and Burgoyne getting their hands on the footy. So look, they're a great side, and they certainly work it well from their defence, so they're tough to man up on.
Plenty of focus on the new coaches and coaches going out. Neil Craig, just give us a little insight on how he's handling Adelaide at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose he's in a bit of a rebuilding phase, and look, he's been fantastic for us, a bit of a breath of fresh air, and he's come in with some good ideas, and really wants us to be competitive, if nothing else, at this stage. And but he's got his tricks in his book as well, so you know, he's going to be really good for us.
And no finals. What do the boys do? A couple of early beers?
Yeah, I think it might even start now to go straight from here. But yeah, look, it's disappointing not to play finals, but look, at the same time, I think everyone at the club is, in a way, pretty happy to see the end of this year, and you know, we can really focus on 2005.
Thanks, Benny. Thanks for chatting with us.
Cheers, mate. No worries.
Thanks, Robbo, and thanks to Benny Hart, one of the ripping blokes of footy. And well done, Michael, getting out in the rain there. We had to drag you out there screaming and kicking to get you out in the rain, but good stuff, buddy. Let's take a look at the 2 other games going on while we speak. If you don't want to know the scores at those venues, look away now. Port Adelaide by 28 points here at AAMI Stadium. Second half. After the break, you're watching Sunday Football.
Tuesday.
I think we've got a little murder. Rock and roll.
Exclusive to 9, 2 CSIs.
Kick-ass.
In a night of geeks and freaks.
This is Vegas, baby.
Double your CSI. 2 in a row, Tuesday on 9.
Television's ultimate adventure is coming back. Down Under. 18 castaways, men versus women. One explosive challenge.
Somebody's gonna get burned.
All new Survivor Vanuatu Islands of Fire coming soon to 9.
At Amy, we reward good drivers with lower premiums. That's why we're introducing Amy's new Flexi Premiums. Now, by bearing your excess, you can save up to an amazing 50% off your comprehensive motor insurance. So why pay full premium when new Flexi Premiums let you choose the amount that suits you? So if you want to save up to 50%, get lucky. Call Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy. Is your dandruff on full blast? Turning people off? Garnier Fructis Fortifying Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Created with Pyrithium zinc. It blows dandruff flakes away. It's proven. Garnier Fructis makes hair up to 5 times stronger and so much shinier. So effective, not a trace of a flake. Kiss those flakes goodbye. Garnier Fructis Fortifying Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. Give your hair the strength to shine.
For a short time, get new 3.5-litre Magna V6 with Sports Mode Auto, climate control, cruise control, power windows, 6-speaker CD and front and side airbags for just $27,990. At this price, everyone should have a new car. New Magna ES, just $27,990.
Home Start isn't just for first home buyers. They can finance a second start too, or a third. If you're starting over, Home Start have some smart options that could help you achieve home ownership again, buying or building. Give them a call, see what they can do. Hey, it'll cost you a phone call.
Home Start. That's smart.
Hold on! Hold on!
The Primus One plan is making life more simple for everybody because it means you'll never pay for local calls. You'll enjoy frustration-free internet and your line rental is included. All this for one simple fee of $55 per month with dial-up internet. And now you can supersize to Primus One with broadband for just $15 extra per month. That's Primus One. Go on, change. Call now.
90 Nights on 9 starts with a bumper crop of all new homegrown entertainment.
Woo!
Renovation Rescue is a knockout.
Costa Zoo.
Getaway clocks up its 10 millionth kilometre special.
Let's go.
RPA returns for an emotion-charged 10th anniversary. Brand new bodywork, changing bodies, changing lives.
Now we're getting our wrinkles done.
Don and the gang set sail for a UK special.
It's good to see you, Rob.
And new It Could Be You Backyard Blitz.
Oh.
Watch out for your 90 Nights on 9.
That ankle, he's re-injured it, so that is bad news. Along with the scoreline, organisation though good here at Amy Stadium. You can see some footage from, not the word footage, from quarter time. But Riley will take no further part in the game. Is that right, Robbo?
Certainly is, and as you said, Dennis, he is on crutches. Matthew Clark's the other one on the bench still with that eye. It's moused right up. Chad Corns is the interesting one as well. He ran off the ground. He's not comfortable, and he's had more padding put around the ribs. He is really struggling at centre half back to suck in the oxygen. We'll see how he goes in the second half, but copped a decent belt in that second quarter.
Okay, so half-time. Margin 28 points. Adelaide with some work to do. There's the matchup again. Chad Corns and Ian Perry. Perry, a good player. One of Adelaide's best in the first half.
Perry's trying to get to that side, and Corns just keeps him away at arm's distance. He doesn't want any contact in there.
Second half showdown 16. Sell-out crowd. Had some rain at half-time talking about the good organisation. But now it's stopped again. Up goes Lade. knocks it down to no one in particular. McLeod pokes it out wide, runs onto it. Here's a right half forward, looks inside the 50. Pitches short of the intended. That was Burton. Diving back is Bishop through the legs of Burton. Sock is off the ground, out of bounds. Could have perhaps done a little more. That's the word from Perry there too. So a boundary throw in. That was at the opening bounce in this third term, and a boundary throw in the pocket. Biglands works in front. Lade with the strength. Biglands smothered. Goodwin across to Edwards, who immediately is wrestled down. And this time a bounce about 25 metres out from goal.
Now Port Adelaide will have the heads up on a clearance here. They have an extra man at the bounce down here. Well, they should, because Rashudo sits back from the bounce. That car comes out to meet him now.
Biglands Adelaide, ball knocked down to Edwards. Handball half smothered. Mattner looks up, sees Perry, hits him, but maybe too far out to score.
He gets a bit of a ride on it, Rich, doesn't he, if he gets it up?
Not from this far out. I think he'll look at either hitting someone in the lead or just putting it to the top of the square.
Any breeze at all now, Robbo?
Yeah, a little bit. It actually picked up, Dwayno, so going down that right of screen. Don't know whether you'll get the distance from here. You have to really hit it well.
No, there's a corridor here for somebody to lead straight up.
Left foot, pops it up, lets it sail, it'll drop short. It might be marked by Biglands.
Big, powerful man. He gets a right arm onto his opponent and just shoves him away just before the jump, or just as he's bracing himself to get into it, his opponent, and he virtually takes it off 2 steps.
I'm not sure Mark Williams is very happy with the defensive play there. No one really got a run up and a jump at it. It was really all just standing alongside of each other, and I'm sure they would have liked to have seen perhaps a back flanker or another player with a run up to knock the ball away.
Acute angle, acute kick.
The final round of the 2003 home and away season saw the goal of the year from West Coast's Daniel Kerr.
And does some more. And some more. Surely he couldn't from 48. Oh, he has!
Delivered with precision by chartered accountants. Employ our thinking.
So the margin immediately back to 22 points after this strong pack mark.
That's what Adelaide's been lacking. They really haven't had too many guys be able to do that. So to get one early is a real confidence booster for them.
Hayden Kennedy with the bouncing duties. Very good too. Biglands up very high. Knocked it down. Stenglein out of the congestion. Perry once more. Proving a handful.
He just played off him again. Chad Course tried to read the ball. But quick snap kicks like that, when the ball's that close.
75 metres out, goes looking for Burton. He's out number 3 on 1. Stayed on his feet though. Taken down now. Henschel arrives, didn't have the footy, picked it up. Eventually, got a hand pass to Bock, chips it back to Mattner. Mattner from 55, took ball forward, going back Stenglein through his fingertips. And it bounces out of bounds. Robbo?
One of the umpires, Kennedy, went down. Tyson Edwards clipped him, and both collided. They both, actually, umpire Kennedy's actually, exercising that shoulder. He went down pretty heavily. Both are up okay, but both were spread even.
1,500, Robbo?
You're going to put an
That's your regulation fine, is it?
Robbo, was it 3.5 to 1,500 or somewhere in there?
So there it is.
There
right
go.
just clipped each other.
Nah, that's a couple of
the
beers.
wrong bloke.
Edwards, a couple of grand there.
Nah, a couple of beers.
It's all right.
A couple of beers could turn it into 1,500.
Yeah, well, better than 2 games as it once was. Ball up will take place in the forward pocket. Bishop and Burton, one of the matchups. Johncock and Wanganeen. 5-2 plays 8-6. Lade reaching over the top. Biglands, ball knocked down to Rashudo, stolen by Hardwick. Kick around the body, too wide. Out of bounds on the full.
Laddams, busy in the second half last week.
Out on the wing now, Laddams.
Wasteful kick. Perry's marked across the boundary line. That's unforgivable.
The wind is blowing directly into that pocket, so without any breeze, he probably played the kick perfectly, but just the swing and the carry with the breeze.
More blood.
I'm not sure, even if Perry did take that mark, he's just not in a great position to do anything with it. It's a really low percentage kick if he does take the mark and shot for goal. Really had to come a bit more inboard.
He's going to have to go in and get some more minties.
He'll be unrecognisable by the final siren. Off he comes. Played a very good game. Brendan Lade has the one goal that his influence pronounced.
He's going to get angry by the time he's off the ground. He's getting a real taste for it.
Meanwhile, back in the back pocket, Stuart Dew on the ground. He's in one back pocket. The other side is Corns. So 2 kicks, 2 out on the full. This one stays in front Brogan. Good mark and/or free kick. Mark is paid. The advantage of playing in front. You saw that time the ball dropped a bit going into the breeze. Dean Brogan just forward of half back. Adelaide with the only goal of the term. He kicks it towards half forward. Off hands, roving at Begley. On his knees, tried to give it to Bassett. Hurriedly out of there by Treadray. Floats it inside the forward 50. Dew, too nimble Dew. Doesn't go with the physique, but he did brilliantly. Floats it down towards the pocket. Awkward one for Marnie. Bounced away from him and went out of bounds. He's so left-sided that when he decides to go to his right, that is the greatest dummy of all time.
Lauren Pickett pretty upset. He was on his left side in some space and just had the hands on the hips there.
Brogan doing the ruck work. Almost took it out of the air. Somehow got it to Hardwick. Treadray. How will it bounce? Unkindly for Treadray, but kindly for Rutten. All out of play. Inside attacking 50 for Port Adelaide. They need to win this afternoon to grab top spot.
Red Montgomery is playing on the opposite wing, but he just sits out off the pack here by 10 metres, and Laddams is going to the ball.
Carr. Snap. Long. Wide. Only a behind.
That's a great skill to have, the ability to get the ball onto your boot quickly. And look, it was very, very close, nearly a goal, but he was being marked, got the ball onto the boot and almost stole the goal there.
16 possessions now for Josh Carr, the most in the game. John Cock to bring it in. Goes short. Tyson Edwards, left back pocket. Still under cloudy skies, but this game has been rain-free. Bassett barely the 15. Another chip pass, that's okay. Stevens has it, decides to go. Taken down.
Now, 50, you know why?
Didn't fall
because he actually
didn't go off his mark.
He didn't go off the mark. He sprinted forward, but he is still running on his direct line behind his mark, and he hadn't got forward. So that's technically not play on. So it has to be 50 metres. It's a tough call, but
he's a clever player. Inside the centre square, down towards the pocket. Henshaw. What a good kick.
Now here's one player that Adelaide really have wanted to stand up in this game. Losing Clark meant Biglands has to go up on the footy, and they really need someone to be able to take a mark. And Henshaw's got one now, and they're looking for him to kick truly.
That's him coming back off, but he's still not at the mark yet.
All right.
So he can't do that. That's akin to just running up behind somebody, taking a stationary kick from a mark and tackling them.
Interesting kicking style, though. He was getting wound up. Here's Henshaw. 35 metres out. But this breeze should help him work it right to left. I'd say the right-hand goal post. What do you think, Durham?
Got to be right hand, wouldn't it? And that's nowhere.
There you go. What do you think, Durham?
I reckon to be lucky if it's scored. I think the boundary umpire was licking his lips. I'm into the game.
Disappointing effort that for Adelaide. They really needed to get another goal and bring us right back into the game, and unfortunately let an opportunity slip.
Fairly quiet boy, Trent Henschel, Bix.
Very quiet indeed. He's actually, when he first came to the club, he showed enormous ability. They labelled him Trent Potential.
And now they call him Rowdy, don't they? Long kick. In from fullback, Corns flew, Montgomery Crum, gave it to James, Peter Burgoyne. It did rain here at half-time. It's a little slippery. Chip kick, tough one. There's your man, Stevens, does well. High kick, Perry and Corns, Perry, it's been a good battle.
Good kick.
Corns sort of won it, he got the kick, but a good one. Now Rashudo waits under it, takes the mark. Montgomery stops him from playing on immediately.
Important takedown on the mark too, as he was in the contest. Had he gone around him and let go of it, we would have played on within goal-kicking distance.
Top of the square, Burton waits under a count mark. Was that Edwards?
Yes.
It would have been a miracle from Tyson Edwards, but it hit the post only a behind.
Yeah, volleyed that, I reckon, there, Dwight.
Oh, that's a drop kick. Haven't seen one of those for a while.
Should have went on his left.
Spinning like your drop kicks, Graham.
There's Wilson in the back pocket.
Coming from one, it's pretty well said.
That's barely 15 when you look at the distance between the goal and behind post. What, less than 7 metres. Where he's got it there, wow. That's on the cusp. As Wilson sends it towards half-back. Brogan in front. Getting back the big guy, Biglands. Down he went. Diving in is James, and he's tied up.
A lot of fathers have wasted hours and hours teaching the drop kick.
Yep. Saw somebody kick one at training, and David Parkin stopped training and ordered them off the field.
Hardwick dumps it out of bounds.
A lot of people watching this broadcast now not knowing even what a drop kick is.
Yeah. It is a person.
Hardwick's off the ground and Schofield's on. So a throw in. Stevens in front, reaching over the top. Brogan trying to clear a path. Stengline crawling after the football. Comes back to Brogan. James, all quality, so good with the hands. Got it away, Montgomery. Forward of half-back, floats it to midfield. In from the side, Doughty got a fist on it, but it wasn't convincing. Brilliant. Marnie sprung to his feet. Got it to Burgoyne, to Wanganeen. 35 metres out. It's tight. I think it's okay. He's got it. This second.
Season for Gavin Wanganeen, only player on the field, 31 years of age, and that's Port Adelaide's first goal of the third term. 61 plays, 34. Last game of the year for Adelaide. Port Adelaide with September still. Peter Burgoyne, Schofield, Kane Corns, kick half smothered. McLeod, nice pick up, being chased by James. Got it to Goodwin. Chips the ball to Perry. Nice pass.
Yeah, beautifully done. And McLeod just making sure he drew his opponent. Solid hit, just floated it, looped it, let his teammate run onto it. And this is going to be a tough kick for Ian Perry, who has improved. But once there's a bit of swing on the ball now, he's got to take that into account.
Just preceding that gather by McLeod, it was just a great smother by Martin Matner. The ball was heading Port's way. Matner gets a hand on it, spills free to McLeod, and Adelaide gets an opportunity to have a shot at goal.
Big kick this for Perry, and a big kick for the Crows. Don't write them off.
I know a bit about footy, but when I need a mobile phone, I go to Crazy John's for the best Telstra deals.
Get the latest Nokia 7610 with built-in megapixel camera that records up to 10 minutes of video, and we'll give you a Nokia Bluetooth car kit absolutely free. Only from Crazy John's and only while stocks last. Call 132299 for your nearest location. We'll beat any deal. That's why Crazy John's are the National Dealer of the Year award winner.
The best deals are crazy deals.
Ian Perry now, 8 goals for this season. The Crows creep closer, 21 points the margin. It was 28 at the major break. Blade has to wait, still won it down. Burgoyne spins out of trouble. Elusive, swings it out to Carr. He runs hard, needs a favourable bounce, got it, brilliantly played. John Cock missed him, and Wanganeen, John Cock's man is away. It's hard to do bounce that ball on that greasy surface. Kicks it very high, and from the side Brogan, fell in front, Begley, taken down by Pickett, that ball's still in there. He'll be lucky, Begley. He is lucky. The umpire behind it And Begley really making no attempt to get rid of it. So we've got a bounce in the pocket.
Peter Burgoyne has had the last 2 centre-bounce clearances.
John Cott thumps it over his shoulder, gains about 15 metres. It'll be thrown in. So Adelaide making their move.
I actually think Port Adelaide have been great in the centre clearance from the ball up. Blokes like James and Burgoyne. If Adelaide were going to win, it was always going to be that area there where they're going to get the ascendancy.
Back into play from the ball in Sting line. Couldn't get it to Jericho. Wilson about to reload for Port Adelaide. High kick. Marnie the flyer can't bring it down. And they might keep it in this pack. You think the Crows, it comes out. McLeod wide from his boot. Wanganeen chases. It bounces unkindly for him, kindly for the Crows. And we'll get a ball in on the outer side. 61 plays 40. Michael Roberts is on the boundary line.
Well, if Adelaide are making their move, they're going to have to do it in the tough way, because on the interchange we've got Clark with an eye, Brent Riley with that right ankle problem, and now Trent Henschel, left hamstring in stride.
After the throw-in, Schofield a chance off the pack.
Let's hold the ball.
All sorts of trouble. He needed a couple of rodeo clowns to take the heat off there.
He did put up the right open palm and tried to give the don't argue.
Self-preservation, no chance.
You've got it, you fair game.
Bounce on the outer side. Brogan tapped it down. It's going to be a free kick to Port. Brogan to take it.
He's getting a lot of kicks here, Burgoyne.
Burgoyne's got it. Goes short. Taken by Carr. Away to Corns, inside the centre square, across the ground. Thurston's again, up on the lead, couldn't hang on. John Cott in trouble. Wanganeen got him down. Lannams quickly away, Rashudo. Now a chance for the Crows. Jericho on the wing. Measures a kick to half forward. Perry again. Pushed to the back, surely. Play on's the call. Box got the crumb down. Here goes Corns. Wakeland at half back in the dangerous pass. In fact, it's been reversed. Pickett ambles away. Did he know about Bok? Well, that was proved by Bok. Took him high. Pickett not on the mark. Don't know that he knew he was there. Or did he? He got through anyway, but could have been nabbed had the tackle been correct. Here's Carr. Had a very good game, Josh Carr. Treadway, Marnie streaks away. Telling kick inside the forward 50 from behind Thurston's.
Good climb.
It was.
Just took a step back. He just lulls onto the back foot. Not a bad grab from one step.
His direct opponent is Nathan Bassett. Bassett lost body contact and felt for him, and he wasn't there, and he just back, just trying to find him. But as you said, Dermot, he just took a couple of steps back, gave himself a bit of a run up at it, and in the end, he got up there, just had to hold on to it, which he did very nicely.
Toby Thurston's 9-7-6-4. And he comes, kicks truly. He's got his second goal, switches the lead.
Home Start isn't just for first home buyers. They can finance a second start too, or a third. If you're starting over, Home Start have some smart options that could help you achieve home ownership again, buying or building. Give them a call, see what they can do. Hey, it'll cost you a phone call.
Home Start. That's smart.
Steadier for Port Adelaide as we tick into time on in this third term. Biglands and Brogan, who wins it with his palm down. Dew just on, left it behind, caught by Laddams. And we'll get another ball up. Stuart Dew, late inclusion for Port Adelaide, with Adam Kingsley withdrawing late with what we suspect is a groin problem. And Scott Welsh was the late withdrawal for the Adelaide Crows. Coming in was Begley. Put Adelaide to half forward again. Bouncing ball. Treadray's got a couple to beat here. Rutten taps it to his own advantage. Toe poke. Edwards, boundary line. Edwards wins out. Goes long, hoping for Bok. Too wide. And it's out of bounds on the full. And yet another unforgivable 7 minutes and 41 remaining to three-quarter time. The Crows have the breeze. Ever so slight in this term, they're not using it. Treadray, high kick to half forward.
Going back, Rashudo. Wonderful judgment. One of the strong candidates, obviously, for the Brownlow. Fine season, getting more of the ball this year than he did last. Goes to the half-forward line, waiting behind Corns. Chips it back towards midfield. Pickett did a U-turn, coming up to meet it. Marnie on his knees. Goes to Schofield. Schofield slips a hand pass away. Look at them break, but Carr broke down. That wasn't good. They had them going towards half-forward. Eventually, Stenglein in the grasp. Corns tidying up. They'll start again. Burgoyne. Corns. Jew from 60 likes this situation. Running back Stevens. Well, he was saved by the bounce. He wasn't going to get to it. Bounced off line.
I'll tell you what has happened in the last 2 minutes is Corns has been moved off Perry and gone on the block, and he's found the ball almost instantly and created 2 opportunities for Port to go forward. So, pretty good move by Mark Williams there, just freeing up Corns to be a little bit more creative.
Mentioning Corns, Big, so how's the feud between the Corns boys' dad and the new coach, Neil Craig of the Crows?
I wasn't aware of one, Dwayne.
You're unbelievable, Dwayne.
Dwayne loves a Barney.
Long kick to the outer side, bouncing ball, and
you take the ball out of
ball in. Didn't
he'll
suggest
them out from anywhere?
Suggest on radio that they should have had a wider search for a coach than Neil Craig?
Oh, I think he has an opinion on most things, Graham, and look, I think he's quite supportive of Neil now he's been appointed.
Mark Williams there.
The Crows, they all stick together. Ball back into play. Edwards. He sticks them together like glue. Long kick inside 50. Corns getting back with the flight. Goes wide. Carr. Beautiful half volley. Chips the kick to Lade. They're away, Port Adelaide. Free man is Montgomery. Lade saw him, ignored him. He's still free. Goes longer. Jew, who can launch this all the way to the goal square. Goes long and high. Treadray waits under it. Got it!
The weapon, isn't it, Stewie Jew? You look where he kicked it from. That's a 55-metre pass. And what that does to your opponent, Rutten, he's got to play the percentage, and that puts space between you and your opponent, being Treadray. So he plays in front. Says it's going to take an exceptional kick to get there, and that's what he is.
He also judges it really well. He was a step in front of everyone else about going backwards when he saw the ball was going to carry, and that's just a sign of a great player.
Lines up at goal number 4. Warren Treadray threads it. Port Adelaide can smell it.
All new suspense.
All new excitement.
9's all new drama Wednesday.
7:30 Secrets and Betrayal.
I don't believe this.
And the wedding of the year on all new McLeod's Daughter at 8:30.
A man was murdered last night.
We call 911.
Someone is making a statement.
All new CSI Miami.
At 9:30, a story so real it hurts in the most powerful episode ever screened.
Hi, Darren.
All new without a trace. 9's all new drama Wednesday.
So now a real test of the Crows. 11-8 plays 6-4. 5.5 minutes out from three-quarter time. This one is slipping away. The 3rd consecutive season, Port now likely to be minor premiers. In there is Carr. He's been wonderful, looking for his 20th possession. Doesn't come easily, as you can see. Biglands falls on top of him, and the umpire will ball it up. But, as people have said all season long when they talk about Port, yes, but the finals await. Neil Craig, about 35 minutes remaining in this season, but no doubt straight after the game, we'll be looking towards next. Biglands hacks it down towards Jericho. Out wide now, it's taken by John Cock. Goes in short and finds McLeod. That was a good kick and a good lead to McLeod, scooting up the ground.
Probably one player that Adelaide would be a little bit disappointed with who hasn't had his hands on the ball more is Graham Johncock. He was down back. It looks like he's been moved forward now, and you can just see how dangerous he is. He just didn't have a great deal of room to work with. Just put it to a perfect advantage of Andrew McLeod.
And he's got goal smarts too.
He has, and he's kicked half a dozen in the game before, which just shows you know where they are.
That's called a dore, isn't it? The traditional headdress of the one of the indigenous tribes.
That's exactly right, Dermot.
Got a tattoo of both his tribes on his body.
That's away.
13th possession for McLeod, off target, off hands of the high.
Explain, please explain.
Got a crow tattoo on his ankle as well.
Oh, is it? Premiership woman, see that. That's the dore.
And his mum and dad from very diverse but famous football areas. His mum, a Northern Territory Islander. His dad's from Waverley.
Fair tribe.
He used to play some good footy out Waverley way. Remember Waverley? High kick.
Oh, yeah, well.
Off hands. Carr, Montgomery, Peter Burgoyne gets out of trouble nicely. Spins around, sees Kane Corns, hits him.
That's class by Burgoyne. He's having a great third quarter. Jericho down on one knee.
Now Bishop, Port Adelaide almost shutting up shop with 3 minutes 30 remaining in this third term. They'll come home with a slight breeze. Bishop back to Peter Burgoyne with 26 minutes now on the clock, third term.
This is why stats are sometimes deceiving, aren't they? You can pick up 3 or 4 cheap stats in about 30 seconds if you really want to.
Unless you're a forward.
Brogan.
They won't let you go just that easy in the forward line to pick up some cheap ones.
Pickett has to stretch. He's paid the mark.
Now, there's 3 Adelaide players there on the mark, which means there must be Port Adelaide blokes running loose further down the track.
Pickett going for distance, close to the boundary line. Perry was up high. Now, it's going to be a free kick, and it's going Port Adelaide's way. It's ambitious by Goodwin. It'll come back and be taken by Perry. Perry was pushed in the back marginally by Thurstons.
Gee, what have we got? The dam busters going overhead or something? Like a Lancaster about to land out the back.
Bassett shows a run of the football to Marty. He comes over the top of Shirley and juggles it directly in front, about 45 metres out from goal.
This guy here has been a revelation for Port. I'm sure when they picked him up, he was an insurance policy. If someone fell over, they wouldn't have in their wildest dreams expected him to be in their first 22.
No.
Just says a bit, doesn't it, for a mature age player who knows his way around a footy ground. As long as you keep your fitness up, even in the lower levels, in the SANFL, the VFL, the waffle.
His attack on the ball is what makes him special. He's a desperado, and that's great. Mark Williams would love that. He's keeping someone out of the side at the moment, so real competition for spots in the Port Adelaide side.
Doughty, in doubt as to where to go. Bassett, back pocket, almost committed to a side now, Adelaide.
We're going to have to get Robbo to go and find out if we're being attacked.
What was it?
I don't know, it's still there. Whatever plane is hovering
a strange day. We had to cross to Canberra earlier. Hope the 2 aren't linked.
Robbo.
Yep, I've got it. It's a light Cessna. The muffler's gone on it. It's just a single wing thing with a propeller in the front. It's only small, Derm.
Bassett to Biglands to Jericho.
It must be 20 metres above our head.
Circling.
They're trying to get the score.
High kick towards Burton, who flies. Can't mark. McLeod. A chance to show his full repertoire here. Spins it around. That's as good as it gets.
Mate, I really like your sunnies.
Oh, really? What do you like about them?
The way they cover up your face.
Been paid out lately? Keno, with over 250,000 winners every month, you could win it by the minute.
A2 milk. It's got a few different faces, and now it's available in lots of places. A2 milk. It's not just good, it's better than good.
Just a fantastic kick. Super play.
Really enjoyed that one, didn't he?
Yep.
Wasn't it beautiful that he only had to go to the well once to learn what was going to happen the second time?
Mark of a good play.
Yep.
11-9-7-5. Biglands opposed to Brogan. Biglands decisively down to Rashudo. Here come the Crows again. They're sticking around. Bounces down towards half forward. Wakeland emerges with it. Carr coming up to his 21st possession. On the wing, drew a man. Releases Jew. Goes down towards the pocket. Tread right. In the hands. Short one is on to Cassisi. Ignores that. Goes long in the direction of Lade. He set it up for Lade. Almost came off too. Stevens played it well. Popped it up though. Still a live ball taken across by Shirley.
Almost held him up. Couldn't let the ball get onto the boot.
It was a good kick from Treadray, and Lade almost the beneficiary of it. 11-10-7-5 approaching 11-10-7-5 approaching three-quarter time. Doughty That's a long kick to midfield. Biglands launches himself, hit the ground running, goes down towards half forward. Well played by Wanganeen. Worked in front of John Cox, spilt the mark though. Burton, late goal perhaps for the Crows. Laddams has got it. We're down to 35 seconds.
Can he kick it, Bix? You've got to go at the near post, you think?
Oh, I think he can. He's pretty accurate shot. He loves kicking a goal. Interesting matchup, though. Laddams on Bishop. They know that Bishop is a quick runner, but I don't think... who won the 100-metre sprint in the Olympics? Gatlin? I don't think he could have stopped that one.
he came out the goal scorer in the second quarter as well.
Kicked a couple of goals last week, Laddams, so you'd think he'd be a reasonable chance here.
A 29-point lead at the moment with this kick to come, and he runs it down to 23 with a quarter to play. We've got a game, boys.
He'd be very happy with that, Chris. We mentioned he loves a goal, and that's, look, you love kicking a goal going into a break because you just come in with a bit of a spring in your step. They know now they're within reach, and if they get it with the first couple of goals in the last quarter, it's going to be a crackerjack game.
Port Adelaide by 23 points here at Amy Stadium.
Opposition leader Mark Latham has just outlined why he should be the next Prime Minister.
I welcome this election campaign because Australia needs a change of government. Australia needs to move to a new generation of national leadership. Australia needs a new government that's willing to invest in the education of our children and the health care of our families. This is what I call the ladder of opportunity. It's the powerful combination of hard work, of good family and community, and the very, very important role of government services to ensure that people have got opportunity in life. I want all Australians climbing the ladder of opportunity, working hard, and having a government, a federal government, that's on their side. On their side when it comes to the fundamentals of life, investing in health and education in particular. The Howard government in recent years has been taking the rungs out of the ladder of opportunity. I want to put those rungs back in. I want to put the rungs back in so as people work hard and they climb the ladder, they've got a government that's providing the services that give them the very best opportunities in life. That's our determination. I want to put the rungs back in for bulk billing. I want to ensure that we get the national rate of bulk billing back to 80% where it used to be. So we've got the availability of bulk billing doctors, one of the foundation stones of Medicare, right around this country. I want to put the rung of a good Medicare system back into the ladder of opportunity. I want to ensure that we save Medicare from the attacks of the Howard government. Earlier this week we had the Deputy Prime Minister saying that the government endorses the two-tier health system. Well, that's not the Labor way when we established Medibank and then Medicare, and I don't see it as the Australian way. Because if you're in the second tier and you're left behind, you'll end up with a second-class service. So we don't want to go down the path of the Howard government's second-class safety net. We don't want to go down the path of a user-pays health system. We want to restore the basics of Medicare, universal public health care for the benefit of all Australians, not some, not those in the first tier, but all Australians enjoying the benefits of a world-class health system through Medicare. I want to put rungs back into the ladder of opportunity when it comes to education. I believe that so much more needs to be done for early childhood development in this country, recognising that learning doesn't start the first day of school, it starts the first day of life. And whether it's reading to our infant children or quality childcare and preschool programs, so much more needs to be done in this area that's been neglected by the Howard government.
We'll have all the details in National 9 News at 6 o'clock.
Welcome back to Amy Stadium. Showdown 16. Port Adelaide playing to start September from top spot, but it was Rhett Bigland's big goal to open this showdown in front of a packed house at Amy Stadium. Clark got a thumb to the eye, and they were a big man down early, the Adelaide Crows, with Clark having to go off and is yet to come back on. Port Adelaide by 19 points at the opening break. Byron Pickett, sensational. Just got it from the back of the pack. And Treadray certainly got Port Adelaide going. He kicked 2 goals in the second term. He's taken 10 marks for the match so far. He's got 4 goals for three-quarter time, and he was unstoppable, helping Port Adelaide out to a 28-point break at half-time. Until Biglan's grabbed one, Packmark on the line, opening stages of the third term. Gavin Wanganeen, though, sensational as well for Port Adelaide, the ex-captain, lining this one up from 35 metres out. And just as the Adelaide Crows thought they were in with a chance, Toby Thurston's plucked it. But just on the siren for three-quarter time, Andrew McLeod weaved a little piece of his magic. And at the last change, the Adelaide Crows still in with a shot at this. Port Adelaide by 23 points.
And it is the Power by 23 points. 11-10-76, leading the Adelaide Crows, 8-5-53. Oh, a couple of other games going on while we speak. If you intend to look at those games sometime later on and don't want to know the progressive scores now between Essendon and the Western Bulldogs and Geelong and Hawthorn, look away now. Mark Williams on screen, Bix.
Yes, pretty animated. I think you'd be saying that first half of that third quarter, they let Adelaide back in. Adelaide probably didn't make them pay as much as they should. Port went down and kicked a couple themselves, but just that last 5 minutes would have been disappointing if they let Adelaide in for 2 goals and keep them in the game.
Well, their tackles dropped off as well in the third quarter for Port Adelaide, and they clawed back a goal, but they have got some work ahead of them. Hard work on the preparation for the finals. Let's go down to Michael Roberts.
Thanks, Derm. And we've got Clark, and we've got Riley, and we've got Henshaw, all Crook on the bench for Adelaide. And I'll tell you what, Mark Williams just said he was animated. He ripped right into his players, and the crowd here today is 45,473, so a big crowd in here at Amy Stadium.
Blackened up that eye of Clark already. Robbo, get your slingshot out and take that Cessna down, will you? It's bugging us now.
Final term showdown 16. The Crows still a chance. Biglands pumps it wide. Cochrane to James. Lays it off. Kane Corns into the path of Montgomery. How will it set? He knocks it onto his own advantage. Burton did well. It's 3-on-1. Crows should prevail. This is Edwards. Takes a while. Lazy kick out of bounds on the full. In fairness to him, I think his plant foot slipped as he went to kick. But that's a very bad result for Adelaide. Kane Corns to play on. Hard against the line. Goes down towards half forward. In front, Doughty. Treadway couldn't get to the contest. Doughty left half back.
Okay, now he can play on because there's a 2-on-1 50 metres down the line.
Edwards to half forward. Cochrane did well. Here's the man in front.
Now that should be team play. What you require then, if you've got a 2-on-1, one of them has to start shouldering the opposition player, and that'll keep him grounded, and the second person comes up over the top. That's just knowledge and team play. It'll go down unwritten, but you get the ball.
Brogan, well, he took it. Got it away in time. Laid. Being held there was Marnie. Still he goes. Certainly held that time, but he had the football. Shirley took it down. James to Cochrane. Shirley in the road. It was intended for Marnie. Shirley still going. Claimed from behind by Kane Corns.
It's got a bit too high holding the ball, doesn't it?
You would think so.
Interesting concept. You said that Brogan took the ball out of the air. He wasn't actually the ruckman, though. He's always the third man up. Lade is shouldering Biglands, and then Brogan is coming over the top.
Bounce on the wing. Lade and Biglands this time. It's on behind play between Burton, who's taken the Port Adelaide jumper off, an unknown.
Cochrane.
It's Cochrane, is it? You know him in the nude, do you, Dermot?
No, I was watching the fight. You were watching the footy.
Right. He's got that beetle wig.
He's growing his hairdo back to the style of Tex Perkins.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, keep going, young man, I reckon.
Burton gives his jumper back and play can get back underway. It is showdown after all. Bounce. There's the two ruckmen going up against. Ingline caught. Handball's out. Stevens knocks it on. Peter Burgoyne about to get caught by Rashudo. Hardwick. Coming hard at him was Martin Matner, the umpire.
I think you'll find, Wayne, even on the replay, you'll see that he actually ducks When he feels the first contact here. Pretty fortunate.
I think Neil Craig may have said play for the jumper. The Adelaide Crows collecting all the Port Adelaide jumpers at the moment. 11-10, 8-5. Hardwick across the ground, and the mark is taken by Lade. Building up as a big finish here. Port being challenged. Good kick, though. He's been everywhere this afternoon, Carr. Quietly amassing 22 possessions and counting early in this final term. Across the ground he goes. Lade, he caught the front of it. Alongside the centre circle, where's Treadray? He kicks for space. Brogan coming up, going back with courage. Stengline filling the gap to Goodwin. Now John Cock is on the wing. Here's a chance for the Crows. John Cock goes towards half forward. Begley outmanoeuvred there. Well played. Corn stayed on his feet. Brilliantly done. Burgoyne took a while. Short one, not 15. But a relay free kick in front of the Adelaide faithful. They're not happy.
Damien Hardwick, one of the few premiership players in this Port Adelaide lineup.
Montgomery's
Flag
going
with
to
the
get busy
Bombers.
here. They keep going down the line. They'll go to a one-on-one.
Treadray couldn't pull this one in. Rashudo. If anyone can get the spark flying, it will be the Roo. Couldn't get it to Goodwin. Treadray spins out of trouble and hits Marty. Oh.
How good was that?
And he's heading for some more votes, you would think. This afternoon, Warren Treadray from the men in, what are they wearing? Yellow.
He thought his way through that pretty well, you'd suggest. He knew what he was going to do. He even was predetermined he was going to blind turn him before he'd gathered the ball. Dictated to the player, Marnie, where he would accept it.
Lines up, does Josh Marnie. Bit of breeze behind him. Pushes it across the face. Only a behind.
It's the dilemma that Adelaide are in. Mark Rashudo normally would have taken that out, but because they have to make up 4 or 5 goals, you have to play on at all costs and take some chances, and sometimes it costs you goals.
Here's Bassett running out of defence. Couple of bounces. Goes beyond half back. Plenty of Crows around him, telling him what to do. Lays it off. Rashudo. Slick hands, but too slick. Missed the target intended for Edwards. Hardwick taken down. Shirley at close quarters. Rashudo bunts it out wide. Now John Cock in some space, little chip, 50-50 ball though. The young man Jericho did well. Plays on, kicks inside the forward 50, reaching over the top. Bishop, disciplined play, gets it across the boundary line. His height, a factor there against Laddams.
It's not a great play, is it, for Adelaide to be kicking to Chris Laddams with a bloke like Matthew Bishop on him. He's always going to bet him on the air. The kick has got to be 100% spot on for him to get the ball.
Lade flies with Biglands. Tackle by Brogan, ball not clear. Kane Corns. Free kick to the Crows here.
Just to go back to that kick, Vince, it is one where the midfielder has to aim at the knees of the oncoming leading player. People grow up saying, oh, hit you on the chest. No, you aim at the knees, and if you can get it there, that means the leading player has to dive, and it gives the opposition backman no chance. We've got Tyson Stengline now with a shot at goals. Not an own goal kicker.
Probably lacks a little bit of penetration. This will be right on his distance. So if I was Port, I'd be having a few big men on the line and looking to get a hand on it before it crosses the line.
What you're saying, can't kick over a jam tin.
Kick over the Sunday Mail.
It's pretty thick with all those Lacornu eggs in it, though. He lines up to reduce the margin from 24 points. And he gets it through. Crows 3 goals away.
It's footy finals time, but these prices are lower than a tiger's belly. Glenfiddich's a great grab at just $39.99. Watch the game with Jim. Black and white bundle, now $60. Get your band rocks off, just $5.99 a litre. Horton's one of our best and fairest at $8.99. And how about a box for the footy? Stanley casks, $9.99. Sip and save drive-ins. Hey, you're never far from your local.
Recruited from Subiaco, he met his debut against the West Coast Eagles. He barracked for them as a boy, and some suggestion he could be headed home. But that was a wonderful goal in the showdown. Knocked out of there by Brogan. Hardwick. Almost the involuntary hand pass to Pickett. Across it comes to Burgoyne. Inside the forward 50. Thurston set himself, hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Shirley arrived like a cavalry across the goal front, then taken by Burton. Goodwin is running. He thought about it. Goodwin is still on. He thought about it. Now he goes back to the goal square. Edwards moves slowly to the opposite pocket, pinpoints the football. Doughty. Shirley calling for it in the middle. Comes back to Bassett.
By the middle.
Here comes John Cock running hard. It would be risky, though. Puts a lot of pressure on the kick. The leads are coming from their younger brigade. Doughty and Jericho. Hence the delay. Bassett.
They're practicing finals footy here, Port Adelaide. Now, this is what you have to do. You have to press man on man in finals for so long during a game as Biglan's come straight up the line of the centre square.
Biglan's plays on forward of half-back. Probing kick towards the outer side. Wakeland leads back in the race, wants the boundary and gets it. And that was the dilemma moments ago for Bassett. The leads were on, but he didn't quite trust the young players who were offering.
Yep.
See, there's been a marked difference since Darryl Wakeland's moved on to Perry. Just hasn't given him the freedom to get up the ground and take a few marks to keep his confidence up like he was doing on Corns.
I think Bassett applied the man's got to know his limitations with his own kicking skills too.
Yes.
James, bounce handball to Peter Burgoyne, to Kane Corns, to Carr, to Wanganeen. They've worked this brilliantly. Sean Burgoyne, half-back flank. Montgomery runs for him. He'll probably get it here. Doesn't. He was free. Goes toward Thurston's. Made it tough for him. Ball knocked down. Stingline caught. Shirley. Bassett. Goodwin. Kick wobbles its way straight to Kane Corns. Simon Goodwin had a little more time than he realised.
He took the peripheral vision, showed him that somebody was on the hunt for him. That's someone, Byron Pickett.
Cochrane's got it. Yes, Burgoyne lucky to still be out there. There goes the kick from Cochrane. Marnie forced wide. Marks just inside the boundary. 77 plays 59. Still time for the Crows. His first blemish of the afternoon. Carr dropped it. That's his second. Cocked it up. John Cox away. There's run in the legs of the Crows. And line out. They've got all summer. There goes the kick down towards half forward. Too short. Bishop's in the row. Across the ground. Burgoyne. Montgomery is free again. Well, there's something about Monty. Short one to Pickett. Now they've got a problem. Lanham slips it away. Edwards outside his forward 50. Spots for a shooter. Will it get there in time? No. Bishop over the top. Tucked it away. Cochrane in midfield. Port on the march. Treadway the danger. Knocked away down there by Rutten. Comes back to Treadway. Tackled by Shirley. Rutten picks it up. Gets a hand pass away. Burton to his own advantage. Storming up through midfield. Still Burton. Lays it off. Biglands has it now. Biglands is away. Thank you, Durham. Down towards half forward. Corns takes the mark on his chest.
Well, this is good finalist pressure for Port Adelaide to feel. See whether they've got it. To stand up to it. The Crows are throwing everything at them. Jew will throw this long and high inside 50. Treadway gets there, takes it across the line. We'll get a ball in.
The runner still hasn't been out to S. Burgoyne. He was in doubt of being allegedly struck by, I think, Montgomery.
Ball back into play inside 50 for Port Adelaide. Slap to the back from Lade, stolen by McLeod. Gurley loops the handball over the top, hoping for Biglands. Peter Burgoyne, Jew, Pickett, Peter Burgoyne. Not sure what that was, but it wasn't effective and it wasn't 15. Stingline caught. Umpire will have to bounce it.
I've been advocating that for a long time, Jim. The up and under.
Gary Owen.
I'm not sure that Mark Williams will be all that happy with what's going on here. Adelaide look like have more spring in their step and then just little finessing things like that.
Yeah.
Not what he wants. The 1 quarter before going into playing a game of finals footy next week.
Right.
Yeah, a bit downhill skiing at the moment, playing wide.
James, was he tripped? I think so. And Roger James will get a free kick. 30 metres out, very slight angle. And he's a pro.
Well, look, this is Mark Williamsby just wrapped this bloke, gets his hands on it because there's just no nonsense about him. There's no question it was a free kick, and he's the man who just nonchalantly goes about his business. Yep, Simon Goodwin being reported there, but like I said, no nonsense about Roger James. Just gets the job done every time. We talked about finessing. Well, this guy never does. He just goes out there and does what has to be done.
He feigned that way. He threw all his weight onto that left leg, and he throws the arm and the foot out. You know, it's an instinctive reaction. There's no malice in it, but as the umpire is called and chartered to do, puts it in the book.
James kicks and kicks truly. That hurts.
Need a loan or some money in a hurry? Where can you get an instant cash loan against your quantity unwanted goods? Instant cash loans at Cash Converters. Just another good reason to visit your nearest Cash Converters store.
Except no imitations. Wild turkey. Real Kentucky bourbon.
Port Adelaide 9 minutes away from the minor premiership. Adelaide 4 goals away from stopping them from getting it. McLeod gets away from Burgoyne, gives to Goodwin. Wants to make amends, goes long and high. Corns, as he's done all season.
Now, when Corns got moved away from Perry to free him up, he's got
danger here.
Begley.
Burton will fly. Sorry, Doom.
He's got Begley as an opponent. Begley just cannot draw the footy, and Corns has scant regard for him and just run into the ball.
Jericho, kick smothered. Burton took Brogan out of the contest. Peter Burgoyne has got 2 runners for Port Adelaide. Kane Corns and Montgomery finally gets it. It took Kane Corns to give it to him while he was free. He can chip it over the top. There he is. Who else would you go to?
And Brendan Lane, nice little body work behind play. It wasn't a big bumper or anything, just a little touch on Brett Rutten and takes him away from being able to put any pressure on.
That'd be Ben Rutten.
Oh, Ben Rutten. I keep going. What do I call him?
Brett.
Brett.
I think Brett Rutten.
Brett Rutten,
perhaps.
Hybrid.
He's had a fantastic day, Treadray, and look, why wouldn't you be on him here? Because his kicking has improved so much over the last couple of years, and when once you wouldn't have thought he'd kick it now, you almost certainly will.
11 marks and has not got his 5th. Only a behind.
Give a man a rat, and what's he do? Lets you down.
Well, not by much. There's Downey to bring it in. Biglands offers to the grandstand side, but he goes to the outer side. Plenty of tall timber there for Port. In from the side, Stevens, almost the mark, and that ball does not come out.
Almost the mark.
Almost the mark.
You're even calling almost the marks with Stevens. Just the mark will do, Dennis.
Is that a category? We have a bounce about 75 metres out. We shouldn't do this to the boy. I'm going to ruin his career. There's the bounce. Up goes Thurston, slaps it wide, taken by McLeod. Across the body towards the wing. In front, Jericho. Montgomery too close.
Brendan Lane's taking a while to get up behind play. He might have a cork thigh, got a knee in there.
Bad kick. James comes up with it. James coming up to his 18th possession.
At what stage do you put the game to bed and take some of your good players off for Port Adelaide just to make sure that they don't get injured before next week? Blokes like Treadray, perhaps Corns if he's a bit sore in the ribs, and even this guy.
If they're sore, but I don't know if Port Adelaide can. You cannot give them 1 second out on the ground as a unit thinking pressure's off. They have to go into the whole game. They'll start off next week the way they finish off today, so you have to have them trying.
Now he kicked it down to half forward. Corns taken high. No free kick. Spills out of the pack. Wanganeen, Slick, Cochrane. Got it to James. Away to Corns. Now Pickett. He's on the wing. Pickett gets past Matner. Has the bounce. Arches the back. Runs towards half forward. Not a good kick, but they've got 3-on-1. Comes out to carve from Dew over the top. An opportunity for Montgomery. In fact, it was Marnie, I think, who gave it out. Dew's in that pack.
Stewie Dew's handball was a hot potato, wasn't it? He thought he was under more pressure than he really was.
So a bounce about 20 metres out.
Stewie.
Montgomery just went through there, just forgot the ball and went at the player.
Well, they had 3 men inside their forward 50, but unusual. Biglands, Shirley, McLeod floats one towards half back, coming back with a flight Cochrane. and bounces off his face effectively and goes across the line.
That's a telling stat, that.
Yeah, they've lost a few of their age players. Burns, Carey, who else has gone?
Nigel Smart.
Nigel Smart.
So take those three out, it'd probably bring the average down significantly.
To about 12.
Brogan in the ruck. Carr caught. Got a kick away, but it found McLeod, who runs away. Long kick. Up flies Wakeland. Can't mark Perry. Runs to 50. Launches a big long stop punt. That's out of here. Touched on the line.
What a great effort. But the contest first, Dwayne, was brilliant. He came from nowhere. He didn't have the sit. The other bloke had the inside running.
It's got the wrong bounce. Didn't land on its end.
Bishop for distance to a 2-on-1, and Kane Corns takes a good mark. Brogan is free. Runners to both sides. Burgoyne runs beyond the wing, goes inside the 50. Marnie is up, couldn't hang on. Came off Shirley's head. Marnie went again with courage. In the opposite direction was Stengline, waiting behind Stevens. Got it away to Shirley. And now Burton. The Crows fighting hard. Kick comes up towards the wing, and the mark is taken by John Cock. But it seems now that Port Adelaide, for the third consecutive year, will finish on top of the table. Remarkable performance. Their record in August is exemplary. Corns again now, finding his form. Across the ground he goes. Montgomery. Bishop is on further. Will he go to Bishop? Eventually he may. Bishop has it. Still inside his defensive 50. Just over 4 minutes to go. Margin 24 points, but it's been a very interesting game. Cassisi, one of the highlights of the year. Always a showdown. Corns has got it. I think they're booing more for what they're doing than Corns in particular. A famous name with the Crows. Now Pickett takes a tumble and takes the mark.
4 goals, 4 minutes. That's the equation as Pickett goes to Brogan. Strong hands.
There's those sore ribs that he had from a collision at Telstra Dome a couple of weeks ago, and a bit of a wince there when he hit the ground.
Well, it was Lee Matthews last night ruining the fact they didn't take Alistair Lynch off a little earlier than he did.
Yep.
Because the game was well and truly over. But the trouble is, who do you take off if you're going to give someone a rest? There's a few that are a little proppy out there as the kick heads in Rashido's direction. Treadray shrugs a tackle. It'll come back. It'll be Kane Corns' kick.
Yeah, Brett Burton gave away a free kick behind play to Kane Corns.
Well, Treadray's a good man. If you're going to take anyone off, might as well be him. He maybe more than ever. You don't want him to get hurt. He's in sensational form. Kane Corns to Cochrane. Just playing out time now. Port Adelaide can taste it. Top spot is theirs. Chad Corns inside 50 to the goal square. Pack flies off the deck. No. They might try and rush it through. They get it through.
Now, what about Scotty Stevens? Put himself over the ball then. Just contained it. Adelaide coaching box.
This will make it 4 out of 9 for Neil Craig since he took over after round 13. Eventually, Begley, broadcast side. Rutten, that's a good mark. Very good mark. Plays on. Urgency about the Crows, but the clock will beat them. Doughty running up to midfield. Penetrating kick inside the 50. Oh, well done by Bishop. Worked his way in front of Laddams and took the mark, tumbling to the ground.
He's been an unsung hero today, Bishop. He's played on tools, he's played on smalls, he's kept Jericho out of it, he's kept Laddams quiet. Very important player for them down back.
One of the best rebounding 50 players in the competition, Matty Bishop.
Cochrane has it. Back to Montgomery. We'll wait for the man to come across and attend the mark. Back it comes to Cochrane. If only the OJ jury took this much time.
Well, you've seen some of
got the ball at right half back.
You've seen some of the greats play, Dennis. So we get the screen. You know, where you got Matthews. You've seen him play, and
Although Westbrook, you love this bloke up in the top left-hand corner, Scotty Stevens. 6 possessions today for you.
High ball towards the wing. I liked him, and I'll stick to that. He's a handy player.
He's got talent.
Downey over the football. Rogan couldn't control it. Thurstons hasn't had a lot of it, but what he's done effectively. A bit like Scott Stevens. Ball spills across towards Cochrane. Slips it away to Corns. And now the skill prevailing. Wanganeen takes a couple, goes short and finds Schofield. Dying seconds of this one, put Adelaide by 25.
Yep. Well, let's hope Scotty pumps up another stat on there, mate. He does have some talent, but then so did Ginger from Gilligan's Island. Schoenberg went inside 50, looking for Peter. Burton is there, keeps it alive, but kept it alive to Jude. He might find Byron. Looks goalward. Handball astray. Matner caught. Shirley. Stengline. Burton. Kick smothered. This is the ugliest part of the match. 36 seconds remaining. Close to the boundary line. Edwards might see it out. Burton keeps it alive again. Now it's out of play. And we'll get a ball in. It was untidy, and Burton, well, he's got a whole summer to get over that corky. The Crows have got 26 seconds left in their season. And they'll finish with 8 wins for the year, Adelaide. Port Adelaide will finish with 17, and that man who was on screen, Mark Williams, will be extremely happy with his minor rounds work. Edwards, high kick, wide kick, and Bishop has it.
Feeds it back, and this will just about do it. Carr has taken the mark. Midway between left centre wing and left half forward, coming up for his 26th possession. Interesting, Treadray off the ground. It may be that decision influenced a little bit. There it is, the siren, and Port Adelaide, the minor premiers, 3 years in a row. And the question hangs in the air at Amy Stadium. This time, can they go on? They win 12-13 to 9-6. And I suppose it's got to be some sort of decision to make there, Derm, about Treadray. You know he's a chance to win the Brownlow. You take him off, say, 5 or 6 minutes before the end. As a coach, that does weigh on your mind.
Would it really?
Yeah, it would mind.
I mean, it would weigh on your mind about getting the right team out on the ground in finals, but you sure the coach would worry about a premiership, a Brownlow medal chance for a...
I'm almost the other way. I know he's probably done enough to be best on ground today, Treadray, I would have thought, but I would think, without being too selfish, a coach going into the grand final, if your team's playing, I'm not sure you really want a Brownlow medalist in your side when it's you know, such an important game and he's your best player. Like, so much more pressure on the player.
We'll find out from him. He's looking up here. Treaders is looking up into the box here and saying, come on, get to me, guys, because Michael Roberts is with him.
Thanks, Derm. And Treaders, you're 4 goals up with 4 minutes to play. You came off as a precautionary, obviously, ready for next week.
Yeah, I think so. I'd actually down a bit 8 because I didn't realise there's only a couple of minutes left. I looked at the 20-minute mark and I thought, oh, well, at least got 10 to play. So it was a really pleasing win. We had a fair bit of support here today, and the guys really knew we had to be on the ball because it was the Crows' last game and they're going to throw everything at us.
And showdown, you survived another one, and well, they let rip in that last quarter, and it was a pretty torrid affair, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That last half, you know, we got 4 goals up, and I'm not sure what the end result was. It was pretty close to that. You know, Adelaide are a proud club, and every time we play, we want to beat them because hometown rivals. We compete for members and sponsors, and I think we've got a pretty good record now, and it was good to bounce back after early in the season.
And now it starts. The 3rd time you finish as minor premiers, but this is where it starts. You've been in this position before, had hiccups. You don't want to do it again.
No, exactly right. You know, we're not shying away from the fact that we've had some ordinary form in September. We've also played some good games after we've been disappointing, but you know, the guys know what the mission is this year, and everyone wants to go top. We're a part of that. We finished top, and now we get a home final. We just got to use it this time.
Just one last one. Mark Williams gave it to you, didn't he? Put it on the line at 3/4 time. You're playing poor football in that 3rd quarter.
Yeah, he did, and it's similar to finals. You know, I think we may play Geelong next week. It looks that way, and you know, they're going to play the same tough footy that Adelaide played today. So it was a perfect, you know, a perfect lead up to the big game next week.
Fine, Treaders.
Thanks a lot.
And Jim, can I just make my point? He was terrific today. He is the key to what happens for them in September. There's no question about that.
Completely.
What happened today, I think, is fine, coming off, say, 4 or 5 minutes before the end. But if you made the call with 15 minutes to go, then I'm thinking maybe a coach does just sort of play that through the computer. But different strokes for different blokes.
For like a half a quarter, where it's serious, like an eighth of a match or something like that.
You're
half
doing
a
it again.
quarter, yeah.
But out of sight, out of mind with a lot of umpires, isn't it? Because they sit down afterwards and the guy wasn't there for, say, the last 15 minutes. And quite often, that can be the difference between maybe a 2 and a 1.
Yep.
I think you've seen, though, some of the great coaches, Lee Matthews and Kevin Sheedy, have both done that with Michael Voss, for example, earlier in the year when he was only playing spasmodically because of his knee. We've seen it with James Hurd as well, where if they get a chance to preserve him, it was even done earlier in the year because they know that they want him up and running around finals time. Any chance they can get to rest, and they did that. So, perhaps it's all about team and perhaps not so much about
maybe
winning
though,
the Brownlow.
and you'd know better than me, Mark. You've seen a lot of Treadray play. I've seen him a lot too, but maybe just going to the finals with the Brownlow, he's the sort of bloke that may give this team added impetus, because last year, when you think back to that loss to Collingwood, he was nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Well, look,
we could have this all night.
Yeah, I think he's mature enough if he did win the Brownlow to carry it, no problems. I don't see a problem, but some players it could upset.
21 possessions for Warren Treadray this afternoon, 4 goals and 11 marks. The Crows give their jumpers away. We saw them give them to supporters just then. That's a tradition. Bix, the Crows have every year. They give their supporters a jumper.
Yeah, it's been the last couple of years they've instigated this, and they draw of the members that come every week. They draw out 22 members and 22 players who have corresponding, give them out, sign the Guernsey and give them to the supporters, which is a great tradition and hopefully one that in its infancy now will build to be something very much very spectacular in the years to come.
Yeah, important for the people who get to take them home. It was showdown 16 today, and it now stands at Port Power 11, the Adelaide Crows 5, and as is the best man on the ground, which Bix, you were one of the voters for, and the news is through for the medal winner for best man afield during these showdown encounters, Warren Treadray. No surprise there, comes away with the chocolates. How'd you go? Who'd you vote?
Well, I went Warren Treadray, Peter Burgoyne, Roger James. So all Port players. I just thought Treadray was outstanding. He just controlled that area of the ground that he was in. Burgoyne for his work around the stoppages and the clearances. He was hard to get a handle on for Adelaide. And I just thought Roger James, every time the game looked like it was in the balance, or when they needed someone to stand up and kick a goal, he was the man that was able to get his hands on the ball and do it well.
Mark Williams just ready for the song. Here we go. Power with the win. Coach there, Mark Williams. He'll put the ban on the Ramsgate tonight, you'd think.
They've got bigger fish to fry there, Port Adelaide. They didn't sing that with a lot of enthusiasm, did they?
That was a song sung with self-doubt.
Unfinished business for the Port Adelaide Power. 25-point win today, though. 12-13, 85 to Adelaide, 9-6, 60. After the break, to wrap up for the last time for us this season.
Tonight and tomorrow night on 9, we're not going to stop till you get enough of the rush.
Show me your badge right now. Show it again.
Double the chant, twice the tucker.
In Hong Kong, I'm Michael Jackson, you're Toto. You mean Tito? Toto is what we ate last night for dinner. Wow.
Over 2 adrenaline-pumping nights.
Never touch a black man's radio, boy.
Rush hour 8:30 tonight. Rush hour 2, 8:30 tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Double the rush tonight and tomorrow night on 9.
You're round, mate.
What?
Mate, there's no need to shout.
Really? I'll just get one for myself then.
Been paid out lately? Keno, with over 43 million paid out a year, you could win it by the minute. Call Jim's Mowing on 131 546 and we'll not only mow your lawn, we'll also do your weeding. Call your local Jim for more than just mowing.
That's right, just $14 a lot. $14? Crikey! It's Barnacle Bill's surprise seafood deal.
2 fish fillets, 4 prawns, 4 scallops, 4 calamari, 2 potato fritters, heaps of chips, and piping hot, 2 pineapple fritters, $14 the lot. Crikey! Barnacle Bill's surprise seafood deal. Where you get more for your money, it's gonna be...
With the sickest prices in SA. Like this 4-piece Antonia bedroom suite, just $8.99. This 100% leather 2-seater lounge, only $7.99. Or with a 3-seater, $16.99. And score this 4-recliner lounge suite for $19.99. Plus, you can win an end-of-season footy trip for 4 to the Gold Coast. Or rent cash or 30 months interest free during footy finals fever at SA's biggest electrical retailer. Now that's big.
Stadium, it was Port Adelaide by 25 points, 12-13 to 85 to the Adelaide Crows, 9-6-60.
And they had to work for it, Dermot, which was even better for Port Adelaide, I think, going into next week. Warren Treadray, superb, 4 goals for him. Thurston's a couple, Wanganeen a couple, and they had plenty of helpers as well. Tyson Edwards kicked 2 for the Adelaide Crows and Biglan's 2, but when Welsh, their #1 goal kicker for the year, pulled out just before the bounce of the ball, they were always going to struggle, Adelaide, to kick a winning score.
Well, Warren Treadray was adjudged best on ground in Showdown 16. This is his presentation.
Before we go, we've got the West End medalist today for the best on ground, and thankfully we don't have to call up anyone else because Warren Treadray's won it.
Big Treaders, don't think there's any dispute in that one. 4 goals today, 11 marks. I think he took 4 contested as well inside 50. Well, another player who's been brilliant for them all through the journey is Gavin Wanganeen. He is with Michael Roberts.
Gavin, well, another final series coming in with high hopes. You'd want to do a bit better than the last couple of years, though.
Yeah, obviously, look, it's been a great effort, I suppose, from the guys to get this position. And, you know, the win today really doesn't mean too much unless we get over the line next week. You know, not to reminisce about the past, but, you know, we'll be looking forward to it.
What about a game like today? Was it important to have a tough one like this instead of winning easy? It was a bit of a finals feel out there.
Yeah, it was. Both sides hit the ball and the body pretty hard, so it was a finals-like atmosphere. There wasn't much time to get rid of the footy, and you know, hopefully that puts us in good stead for next week.
The preparation leading into this game, was it? Did Mark Williams treat it a bit like the fact that it was cutthroat?
Oh, look, you don't really need too much different motivation, I suppose, playing against the Crows. It's the motivation's there, and you know, 2-team town, we always want to beat each other, and you know, hopefully it's a good hit out for next week.
And how important is it to finish on top?
Well, it means if you win that first final, it means a hell of a lot, because you get to play the next one at home. But we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, and we'll be, you know, cherry ripe for next week.
Yeah, and thinking about next week, Geelong here probably.
Yeah, well, look, they'll be playing some good footy. They're a different side this year, so they'll come and hit us pretty hard, and we'll be expecting it.
Well, good luck in the campaign.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Gavin.
Former Brownlow medalist there, Gavin Wanganeen. Solid today without being brilliant.
And the Australian men's hockey team was called the Port Adelaide of the Olympics going into this Olympic Games in Greece because they've choked a few times, but the Australian men's hockey team was able to get up this year and get the monkey off their back. Maybe it's the year of that kind of thing happening.
You're always one game away from just dispelling anything that's gone on in the past, so I'm quite sure the Port Adelaide boys will be eagerly looking forward to next week's game, wherever we find they line up. Let's go to Michael Roberts now, who is with the Port Adelaide coach, Mark Williams.
Thanks, Derm. And Mark, well, I reckon that you're a bit nervous before this one, and at three-quarter time, you're a bit annoyed with their form, but you've actually survived this showdown in pretty good fashion.
Well, you know, once again, to finish top of the ladder at round 22 is terrific, but we'll move on from there. We've learned over the last few years it doesn't mean anything, and put a real emphasis. Even this week's training is about next week, so we really wanted to just get this game out of the way, and I think our players really switched off a little bit there, so I did get a bit annoyed, but I suppose if their focus is on next week, that's okay.
You took Warren Treadray off the ground, obviously 4 minutes with 4 goals up your sleeve there. It was time your key cannon was off the ground.
Yeah, we, you know, full intention is to make sure that we have our best chance of winning next week, and that's with him on the ground.
Mark Dermott here. Congratulations once again on all the aspects of finishing on top. You came out pretty hard in the first quarter. You're obviously setting a tone for next week. 18 tackles you laid, and you really mongrelled it out as a team in the opening quarter, at least anyway. Yeah,
I thought we did. You know, I watched Adelaide play Geelong, and I thought they played really well against them last week. So their midfield, you know, they got all Australians, they got Brownlow medalists, so you really have to come up against them and have a crack at it, and see if you can compete against that sort of talent. And you know, I thought we did okay.
Congratulations, Mark. Did you get? What did you do to your hand? Did you punch a wall?
No, no, barbecuing. I'm not very good barbecuing, so that was it.
And what will you do this week in preparation?
I'm sure all the parents are out there reading the night that Marcus won the flag, and that's probably what I'll be doing to my kids.
That's the book, is it?
That's the book,
that's
yeah.
the book.
It's going very well.
Well, Mark, we just have received word that you need to get going, so we'll let you go. We thank you very much for your time this afternoon once again, and from everyone here, congratulations on the, well, the minor premiership status once again.
Thanks for the support from Channel 9. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Mark Williams and Robbo there, and let's have a look at Warren Treadray, who was dominant today. Wasn't it amazing at half-time when we looked at the first goal highlights for Port Adelaide? Warren Treadray either kicked them or set every one of them up.
He took 11 marks, but there's a lot of other things he did as well. He chased, he tackled, and some of these half volleys and pickups. He is a superb athlete. He's not just a mark and goal kick kind of player, and I think that's one of the things that Port Adelaide has been inspired by this year is the work that he's been able to do outside of just taking the marks and kicking accurately, which has been a sensational part of his game this year.
He's really honed in on that, hasn't he? His action hasn't changed all that much, so he's obviously got a great repetition in his build-up now, and he knows where they're going, even if he isn't the most beautiful-looking kid in the world.
Well, the important thing, they say, is to get a good routine and stick to it rather than worry about trying to rectify your kicking style.
Well, Roger James, he turned up with 19 possessions today as well, and just look at that. Now, one thing Mark Bickley pointed out as well, watch how clean he is with his hands. Probably fumble this one now. No, off the deck, one take. He just sets it up so beautifully because you can go and get around him with confidence. You know he's going to take it in one go.
Yeah.
And you're on hand for a receive quickly.
Well, given that Primus is not there and Franco's not there, they really need Lade and Brogan to be able to have someone to palm to, and Roger James gives them a superb target in and under.
Tyson Edwards, 19 possessions today. We highlighted him before the game. Was a bit of a get-about, played a little bit up forward, was swapping on the ball with, well, changing on the ball with Andy McLeod once again. He did turn it over a couple of times out in the full, but just capable like that. He was looking for a kick. He was on step for a kick then and dished off by hand. Knows what the game is about. A super player, a lot better than most people on this side of the fence give him credit for, but I tell you what, the coaches all know.
Well, Robert Shaw started him as a back pocket, so he took a little bit of time to get himself into the midfield, but now that he has really let the competition know that you better not forget about me while you're manning up on McLeod and co.
Well, some brilliant midfielders started in the back pocket. I think of Brett Ratton for a start. Anyway, let's have a look at the votes today. Warren Treadray, 8 votes there. Josh Carr, 7. Peter Burgoyne, he got 7 as well. And Roger James, as was highlighted on screen there, 6 for him. And they are all in line for this, the Toyota Player of the Year. And they can drive away in the all-new Camry Sportivo, worth over $40,000. Key features are the powerful alloy quad-cam V6 engine, Aero Sports body kit and 16-inch alloy wheels for optimum handling, as well as the sports tune suspension and sports front seats. And tune in every Sunday to the Footy Show every week to keep up with all the latest voting. All right, it was the Port Adelaide Power by 25 points. They had a win here at Amy Stadium. We're going to take our last break for the year, and we'll be back on the other side to wrap up completely. This is Sunday Football.
Tonight, the election battle begins. The Prime Minister calling an October 9 poll. We'll examine the crucial role of South Australia's marginal seats. And a police hunt for Adelaide serial robbers after another armed hold-up.
What's with the aftershave? Not bad. Smell beautiful, you're a girl.
Been paid out lately? Keno, with over $3 million paid out a month, you could win it by the minute.
What a combination.
Country crumb chicken plus bacon with barbecue sauce, lettuce and mayo on a long bun. That's Hungry Jack's Country Chicken Deluxe, $6.95 with regular Coke and fries.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. A2 milk. It's got a few different faces, and now it's available in lots of places. A2 milk. It's not just good, it's better than good.
Sell everything! $1 million of stock to go! Furniture will be sold at half price, bedding will be sold at half price, carpet and rugs will be sold at half price, plus pay nothing till 2006! On now! Look on!
Everything you do in front of the mirror. And we mean everything. Shaver Shop. Transform yourself. Father's Day catalogue out now.
Allora, quando mi trovo in un posto isolato, mi preparo qualcosa da mangiare usando uno di questi pasti italiani della Legos. Si versa la salsa e si mette nel microonde. In solo 2 minuti un buonissimo piatto di pasta all'italiana. Ciao, mamma. No, sto mangiando una banana.
New Legos pasta meals. Authentic Italian in no time at all.
Monday, it was the tragedy that shocked us all.
A 9-year-old girl and being set alight the way she was.
For the first time, what really happened to Sarah Allen, plus the national campaign that'll make you healthier and happier. Nissan presents A Current Affair.
Well done from the boys, Stevie D down in the band who picks the music. Jeff Buckley, our last goodbye.
Certainly is, and it was the last goodbye for the Adelaide Crows as well today. Beaten by 25 points. Season over. Port Adelaide heads into September from top spot.
Well, I'm really looking forward to this final series. We get to learn something about Port Adelaide. Yeah. We get to see the top dogs, Brisbane, whether they can get rolled, whether anybody can hunt them down. Let's take a look at the ladder right now, Dwayne.
So there's Port Adelaide top spot confirmed, even though they've got a lower percentage than Brisbane. They had an extra win. That's the ladder as it stands, with the Geelong and the Essendon result still to be completed. So if it stands like that, with Essendon finishing 8th position, this is what we will have the following week. In week 1 of the finals, these are the teams that have the double chance. They play in the qualifying finals. It'll be Port Adelaide and Geelong here at AAMI Stadium, which is likely to be a Sunday afternoon game to give the teams a full week's rest. And the other game, Brisbane Lions v St Kilda at the Gabba. They will not play this game during the day because of the heat factor. It's likely to be at night and probably Friday night. Melbourne, Essendon, Saturday afternoon at the MCG in all likelihood. And Sydney and the West Coast Eagles at Telstra Stadium in Sydney. Saturday night has been earmarked for that one.
Who do you think, who's your money on for the flag?
Port Adelaide. Well, you tip with your head and your heart, but I'm tipping with both this time.
Hopefully, I think you're leaning to your heart.
Yeah, no, I think both of them are getting Port Adelaide over the line. I think they were not quite as adept at playing this kind of footy in the last couple of years. With Corns at half-back and Treadray in superb form, you've got to go with them.
Coming up for our viewers this afternoon, for the Southern State viewers, Essendon and the Western Bulldogs. For our Northern State viewers, Sydney and Brisbane, that is, Western Tigers and the North Queensland Cowboys. That's all we've got time for now. And on behalf of all the on-air team, and Dennis is just off camera, thanks to Mark Bickley coming in today as well, Robbo downstairs still. Thanks to all our support staff, our techos, and especially our cameramen. They do a fantastic job. I'm sure they enjoy it just as much as you and I do, Dwayne, when we get the chance to bring you at home all the Sunday football action. So wrapping up here today, it was the Port Adelaide Power on the way to the final. Showdown 16. They got it by 25 points.
This AFL coverage, proudly brought to you by Toyota, Primus Telecom, and Amy.
Call Jim's Mowing on 131 546 and we'll not only mow your lawn, we'll also fertilise your garden. Call your local Jim for more than just mowing.
Evidence never dies. Cold case, September 7.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nine's continuing coverage of Sunday football. Joe Mercedes doing a lap of honour there, just farewelling the Essendon faithful. It was Joe Mercedes who joined the club back in 1992 and went on to play 236 matches, 2 of those, of course, the premierships in 1993 and 2000. A runner-up best and fairest in 97 and 99. He will be unable to add to his tally even if the Bombers do make the finals because of a recurring knee injury. Maybe there's a slight chance. But anyway, first of all, Essendon need to make September. That's what's at stake here today against the Bulldogs. They must win this match. They can lose it, but not by more than 4 goals. All right, without further ado, let's head to the Telstra Dome now and check in on the first quarter highlights.
Can the Bombers live to fight another day? 2004, Brian. 2004. Solomon. Kick inside 50. Needs 7 to tie the Coleman medal.
It happening.
And a bit off the ball with McMahon and Walsh. And he knows there is a lot riding on this. There's a win. There's a Coleman medal. An opportunity for finals today. Matthew Lloyd comes in. Kick is a mung off the boot. Shocking looking ball, but he's got it.
West, who racks them up against the Bombers. Power. The ball coming out to Gilby. From Robbins it was. Now Watson.
Free kick.
Robbins, the player, getting the handball out, but it's coming back, and the free kick will go the way of Essendon. Darren Goldspink with the whistle in the mouth. You're looking for some finals action, Darren, one of the most experienced umpires in the caper. Laying down the law in recent weeks as well. But this is a big kick coming up for Mark Johnson. The perfect start for the Bombers. 2 thrusts forward and 2 goals on the board. The opening 2 plays of the game. Essendon away to a flyer.
Brought the ball down, all Dogs. Darcy, the ruckman, with the clearing spiral that gained about 70 metres to centre-half forward. Brad Johnson. McVeigh led him to the ball. Did nicely on his familiar left foot. This one's a little bit long for Hill. Grant got a piece of it over the back to Bolton. Handball further afield. Mark Johnson's already kicked 1. Here's goal number 2. Got it.
Well, big Luke Darcy should go back and kick a taught. He kicked on about 75 metres before. This time the kick is to Bandy, and the free kick is on. Umpire's called play on advantage, and Bandy just strolls in and kicks the first for the Dogs.
Peveril, just a little bit too much on it for Mercury. Here's Gilby, been very good in the recent 6 weeks. Chiseling ball finds power, and he marks at half forward.
Playing loose at half back is Lindsay Gilby at the moment.
On to Eagleton. He can kick the ball a long way. Brilliant play, the Dogs. They've got a couple.
McVeigh's kick was a good one too. Bolton on the half volley, did it well. Handballs inside to the rampaging Dean Solomon, who tried to kick the cover off the ball, didn't come off. Now out of the back pocket comes Boyd for the Bulldogs. A big chance on Mitch Hone. He can go wide to Bandy, who does, and marks 40 metres out and says, I'll go back and have my shot. 4 goals straight to Daniel Bandy this season coming into the game. He has 1 for the afternoon into an open goal. So 5 for the season, 121 goals, 90 in his 143 games of football. A big one here for the Doggies to hit the front. Can you believe it? They are in front, the Bulldogs. 2 to Bandy.
Hill, off the ground, Bullen in there. Cooney, picked up by Bullen, right foot snap, don't tell me, got it. Big goal for the Bombers.
Yeah, pretty handy one, that one, for the Bombers. They're nearing quarter time, and they've just got their noses in front of the Bulldogs. 4-3-27. That's a goal up to 3-3-21, of course. All right, another match underway today is down at Skilled Stadium. It's a pretty important one in terms of the makeup of the composition of the 8. Anyway, that's Geelong versus Hawthorn. We'll update that score for you right after the break. Stay with us. You're watching Sunday Football right here on 9.
8:30 Wednesday. A man was murdered last night.
He called 911.
Someone is making a statement.
So we're not dealing with a random.
Somebody that he knows.
You think I was involved in this?
Here's what I think.
All new CSI Miami, Wednesday on 9.
Right now, Radio Rentals is suffering from footy finals fever with the sickest prices in SA. Like this Pioneer DVD recorder, now just $7.99. This Acer notebook is now way under $2 grand. Kick off your home theatre with this Panasonic receiver and speaker system for $5.99. Plus, you can win an end-of-season footy trip for 4 to the Gold Coast. Rent cash or 30 months interest free during footy finals fever at SA's biggest electrical retailer. Now that's big.
We're watching an amateur handyman. Now he's a pro. Amateur. Pro. Amateur. Pro. Amateur. Pro. With GMC's range of red-eye laser line generators, the line between amateur and professional ceases to exist. GMC, turning amateurs into pros.
Hey, fellas.
New boots?
Yeah.
Mate, they're shockers. Nice work, Bert.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what work was. Mum sick of tying your laces, was she? Genuine vinyl? No. Don't get them dirty.
Been paid out lately?
Keno easy pick, thanks, mate.
Keno. Win it by the minute.
Hey, Dino. Keno.
The energy market's getting tough. Things are changing. We need an edge.
Well, let's look at the options.
Do you have the most rigorously trained accountant guiding your business? No one is better qualified than a chartered accountant to take your business in the right direction.
When would you like to start?
Start right now.
Chartered accountants. Employ our thinking.
The Primus One plan is making life more simple for everybody because it means you'll never pay for local calls. You'll enjoy frustration-free internet and your line rental is included. All this for one simple fee of $55 per month with dial-up internet. And now you can supersize to Primus One with broadband for just $15 extra per month. That's Primus One. Go on, change. Call now.
7:30 Thursday, it's a getaway milestone. 10 million Ks travel on getaway. With the biggest giveaway ever.
This is the world's ultimate motorhome, worth $250,000.
Watch Getaway to win, Thursday on 9.
Welcome back to Sunday Football. More from the Telstra Dome in just a tick. In the meantime, though, let's get a quick update from the action at Skilled Stadium with thanks to 4 and 20. Almost three-quarter time at the Cattery, and Geelong doing it pretty well over Hawthorn. They're 6 goals up. Now, the scenario going into this one is that Geelong could have been relegated from 4th to 5th if Hawthorn had have come up with a whopping win. Well, that doesn't look like it's going to be the case there as Cameron Ling puts one through, and nearing three-quarter time, it's the Cats by a very healthy 6 goals. All right, at Telstra Dome, it's Essendon up against the Bulldogs, and when we left there at quarter time, it was the Bombers by a goal, and that is the margin as we pick up play at the start of the second quarter.
There is a bit of rain around as well, Ed, so makes you wonder a little.
Yeah, I would have thought so, Brian. I mean, there's the idea of the roof.
Start of the second quarter, Bombers by 6 points in a pretty entertaining first quarter. Goldspink blows the whistle, and we'll do it all again.
Didn't blow the whistle in the last 2 seconds of the last quarter, and it cost the Bulldogs a shot at goal. Daniel Bandy was furious at quarter time.
He was indeed, in long talks with umpire Goldspink. about why he didn't receive the free kick. West, ground level. Gee, in and hard and under was
good
cross. Cooney got it out. Dogs look dangerous again if they can handle the ball. Eagleton had to go and get it. Burst and Power fight for it. Now Cooney got open field from 50. Let's go with a long ball.
I tell you what, this young man is a class act. He won the footy in the heaviest of traffic beautifully and then followed it up with a magnificent goal. I know the National Rising Star is awarded on Thursday. He is coming with some sort of a run. Adam Cooney, he's had 27 possessions, or average 27 in the past month, and started this game like a bomb.
He has, but it's really only been the past month, hasn't it, Gary?
Am I on? Yes, as I said, his past month, Brian, has been outstanding.
Yes, but you were talking about him in terms of the National Rising Star Award.
Well,
he has only played for the good games for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
He's played good games. He's played in the best 3 probably in the past 4 months.
Adam Cooney, the #1 draft pick, had to wait till round 21 to get selected for the National Rising Star. And now he's in the mix. There's no doubt about it. He's playing like a season campaigner today. Eagleton, he is. His 150th game. To Darcy, wanted to go, now he's told to by the umpire. Slams it on the left boot, high up and under. Bulldogs have got the sit and the mark. Bowden's got it. What a start for the Bulldogs.
Fantastic it is. He did this beautifully. He's playing at full forward on Dustin Fletcher, one of the best in the business. Patrick Bowden was at the back of this pack while all that jostling was going on, and then at the right time just ducked around the front. Dustin Fletcher got held up and will kick a certain goal.
Bowden to put the Bulldogs in front. Wobbles it through. It's a goal. 2 and 2 minutes to the Doggies.
Oh, it's a fantastic start. It's a great start in this second quarter for the Western Bulldogs. Just see Bowden here work his way around the front and then had strong hands in the contest. So they've got Bowden and also Bandy, who's giving Lucas plenty of headaches at the moment. Bandy's aerobic capacity pretty big too. So Scott Lucas has on a couple of occasions had to trail Bandy in. So right now, Peter Road has got a pretty dangerous forward setup happening.
What a start in this second quarter by the Bulldogs. They've kicked 2 goals, had 2 inside 50s, disposals 10-2. They are dominating the early parts of the second quarter. Darcy, no one there to handball, just handballed it out the back door. Murphy and Hurd combining. Chipping ball, find Hill. The run of Peverill. Now the Bombers go forward. Lloyd marks and will line up for goal number 2.
But this is the point we made earlier, Brian, in the game. I reckon this is only the second time, I might be wrong, that Matthew Lloyd has been involved in a direct contest.
You're never wrong, Gary.
Third time, Gary. So you're wrong on this occasion, but...
It's taken around 22, Brian.
Keep going.
But my point is that from where we sit, he's got a clear advantage over his opponent, Bassett. So he's currently trailing Fraser Gary. He's got 84 goals for the season. We'll keep this updated throughout the course of the afternoon. He needs a bag of 8.
Really can't afford to miss today, Matthew Lloyd, and he has gone many games in his career where he's kicked very straight and no behinds. This one on the way, bending.
Too much.
And has missed to the right-hand side. Lisa, Maddie's wife, in the stands there, looking a little amused at that effort.
Oh, she wasn't
bemused.
Boy.
And Mum next door as well.
Bev Lloyd.
And Lisa's mum as well, so it's all in the family up there. The Caparellos and the Lloyds. Westy gets it again. 9th possession for this man. What a superstar he has been. Scott West, one of the most underrated players probably to have played the game in the last 10 years. Burse. Darcy. Bulldogs just building confidence. 8th touch for Luke Darcy. Halfway through that first quarter, the Bulldogs just started to believe in their disposals a lot more. Ran for each other. Welsh, though, does it nicely. Front square, thumps it long. Getting underneath it was Boyd and took a strong mark.
Well, they've got Bolton playing at centre-half forward, Eddie, where normally Lucas would. And they don't look anywhere near as potent. He doesn't quite play the position as well.
McMahon to a one-on-one contest. Ramanascus versus Robbins. Ramanascus does it well to Murphy, who's struggling today. He's turned it over again. Now Cooney versus Ramanascus. Good play by Rama, just edged him underneath it. Pushed him off the ball. Power. Flicked it inside. Solomon. Lovett Murray does nicely. Handballs inside. Now the Bombers are away. Chance for Bullen. Has two bounces. Looks up. Johnson's running to the square. Bullen keeps going. He can go right. It's got a long way. Umpire said you've got enough. Now Bolton just walks. What's going on? It's coming back. It's going to Essendon.
Yeah. Well, too high, said Goldsmith.
That was the late tackle, the lunging tackle. They all ran to the square. Someone had to come at him.
Lloyd on the lead. He came at him, but it's going to come back.
Goldie. What is he doing, Darren?
No, Darren.
Wrong player took the kick. Well, that's fair.
It's come back to Welsh. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Free kick off the ball.
The old days, if you came to Shepherd, you're almost a free hit, weren't you? Not so much these days. As Lucas kicks to the goal square. Lloyd from behind. Hill's there as well. And Big Hill's taken the mark. Good play. He looks dangerous, Hill, when he goes forward. He's getting a better run at the ball these days, Gary.
Well, he does. And Daniel Bandy there is, he's just got to realise that once you go into the ruck and your ruckman pushes forward, it's your responsibility to go with him. So that would be disappointing. Bandy started the game well, but he let himself down there.
Hill from 25 metres out to put the Bombers back in front. Got it. Bombers by a point.
Bit happening. Oh, up the footy. Rama just upends Robbins and then in some remonstration. Well, over the umpire
and a free kick. And a free kick. Gone away of Ramanascus. That was silly play.
Often the retaliator. We say it every week. Often it's the retaliator who gets pinged.
So Ramanascus can go now from centre-half forward. Kicks it long. Hurd lurking from behind. Goes up. Couldn't hold it. Recovers beautifully, though. Boyd applies the tackle. Hurd throws it out to Lovett Murray. Shovels it out to Johnson, who didn't have the ball. And throw in, says the umpire.
A bit of confusion reign there. The goal was scored. They're coming back into the centre to bounce the ball. Rama upended, I reckon it might have been Shane Burse. And then there was some remonstration, and then the contact to the face from Matthew Robbins is always going to be a free kick.
Boundary throw in deep Bomber territory here. The kick by the Bulldogs. Indiscriminate out of bounds. Brad Johnson looks like he's holding that shoulder again.
Finally given up, I reckon.
Yep. McVeigh launches from 55 metres out. Lloyd, Hurd, neither could mark. Loose ball, Boyd finds the hole and finds Grant. His kick misses power. Overrun out of bounds. So Brad Johnson, the story here, being escorted off by the physiotherapy, and this is what happened.
Ooh, that's the big Dean Solomon hip and shoulder, and that's the one that he missed a week or two, came back very, very early, and he's bravely been carrying it all year. I reckon that's the last of Brad Johnson we'll see.
Yep, Brad Johnson might have a couple of days off for a mad Monday and a mad Tuesday, and mightn't be no, and then he'll be in drinking for a little bit of a clean-up.
Yeah, no doubt. He's one of the braver players going around. A lot of players would miss 6 to 8 weeks with this sort of an injury, but on this occasion he got back. They were in a fair bit of trouble, the Dogs, and he's done the best thing for the team, but Dean Solomon's done the best thing for Essendon right there.
He doesn't miss either, Solly. He's got the ball again. Strength. Harm was good as well. Knocks it on to Johnson. Oh, Johnson has the arm up and going. Defended himself beautifully. Bulldogs fighting each other for the ball. Cooney, it was Mitch Harm was in there. Robbins, look at that. Spear tackle almost. There's a bomber in there whose face almost went into the car park.
Gone up a notch the game.
Matthew Lloyd, have a look at this. Boom! Crash!
Nothing wrong with that. Good hard.
And then look at this, Lloydie. Whack!
Ooh, that can be dangerous. Nothing, not intentional.
Not intentional, but dangerous nevertheless. Over the top of the ball there was Bassett over the line and out of bounds. Another throw in. It's hotting up at the dome.
And rightfully so. There's a lot at stake. It has gone up a notch. This is a big test for the Dogs. Essendon, of course, the more seasoned campaigners in all of this, and they are absolutely giving it to the Bulldogs. They've got to stand their ground.
Under enormous pressure at the moment, the Bulldogs. Bombers have had it locked in their forward 50 for some time. Harm getting it out of trouble. Here's Murphy. Oh, Johnson's just gone straight for power on 90 now.
Oh, look at this.
It's on behind play. In the meantime, Cooney's got the loose running ball. He'll be able to go all the way. There's a few bounces. 3, 4 to 50. Kick one here from a moment ago. The centering ball to Bowden or Eagleton. Fletcher got the punch in, and it'll go over the line. Oh, and it's on at this end as well.
It's a free kick there. Oh, it's got it the other way.
Against Eagleton. Darren Goldsby. He is just blowing the pee out of that whistle today.
Not blown his final chances, Brian, has he?
I think he might have. 4 frees really now.
4 frees to Essendon, none to the Bulldogs from Darren Goldsby so far. The kick from Bowden was ambitious and badly executed in the end. Lucas does a bit of juggling along the boundary line, and up it goes to Stanton. Stanton handballs over the top to Welsh. A couple of these young Bombers combining. Good play there by Boyd. Lovett Murray runs in and out of trouble and back into it again. Boyd over the top, Welsh into him. They're trying to knock it out. Plenty of hands in there. Good hard football. Ball up on the outer side. The Doggies are really lifting.
It's an enjoyable game. The Bombers are in a little bit of trouble. This is a free kick, both holding onto each other. Oh, I think you were harsh on Darren Goldsby there, Brian.
I think there was a fair bit of holding early on, though.
I think you both were harsh on him.
Not harsh at all, Gary.
No. Those things to throw in, Gary. Please, don't give a free kick there.
There's the Johnson hit on Luke Power, who got straight back up. It's a good game. It's an entertaining game.
Well, in the meantime, another one's been paid. Stanton's got it on centre wing.
Getting some encouragement from the Bomber supporters, and there's the...
Look at him, look at him. He's a brave
Brad Johnson coming back out onto the deck. He wants to get involved again. And will do his best. You can be assured of that. Lucas short finds Stanton.
Yeah, it's crowded, Brian.
Inside the centre square, just about all players forward of the centre circle here for the Bombers. McVeigh nudged Grant under the ball. How about that? Burst, West. West in one action, missed. Johnson, McVeigh, traffic. Evasiveness was good. Around the corner, Bolton.
Mark McVeigh's had a good year. He's had a really good year. He's played back pocket on the dangerous small forwards for most of the year. I think that in time, well, not time, next year you'll see Mark McVeigh play a hell of a lot more footy in the middle of the ground and become one of the good midfielders. He started up around the middle. Kevin Sheedy said, no, it's time to go back and just settle him down and give him a regular spot. And he's done it beautifully. I think he will become a very good midfielder.
3 goals, 5 this year for Bolton. This to extend the Bombers' lead to 7 points. Looks pretty good off the boot. And has broken this tight passage of play with a goal to the Bombers.
Tonight and tomorrow night on 9, we're not going to stop till you get enough of the rush.
Show me your badge right now. Show it again.
Double the chant, twice the tucker.
In Hong Kong, I'm Michael Jackson. You are Toto. You mean Tito. Toto is what we ate last night for dinner.
Over 2 adrenaline-pumping nights.
Don't touch your black man's radio, boy.
Rush Hour 8:30 tonight. Rush Hour 2, 8:30 tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Double the rush tonight and tomorrow night on 9.
At Amy, we reward good drivers with lower premiums. That's why we're introducing Amy's new Flexi Premiums. Now, by bearing your excess, you can save up to an amazing 50% off your comprehensive motor insurance. So why pay full premium when new Flexi Premiums let you choose the amount that suits you? So if you want to save up to 50%, get lucky. Call Amy.
Lucky, yours, Amy.
Featuring a new 5-speed auto with Sports Mode Active Select and Holden's all-new high-performance 190-kilowatt Alloy Tech V6. The new Commodore SV6. There's no holding back.
A2 milk. It's got a few different faces, and now it's available in lots of places. A2 milk. It's not just good, it's better than good.
Get into shape, get into the latest gym equipment at Southern Workout Store. Adelaide's biggest range of fitness gear, all under one roof. If you want to work out, it's all here. Home gyms, free weights, sports supplements, AbMax swings, boxing gear for guys and girls. It's the place in Adelaide for a huge range of fitness equipment at massive discounts. So get into shape, get into Southern Workout Store. We don't match prices, we just sell for less.
We're watching an amateur handyman. Now he's a pro. Amateur. Pro. Amateur. Pro. Amateur. Pro. With GMC's range of red-eye laser line generators, the line between amateur and professional ceases to exist. GMC, turning amateurs into pros.
New from the National, flat monthly fees. All your everyday National transactions for just $5 a month, or $3 a month for electronic banking only. Call us today on 13 13 12 and flatten your monthly fees.
It's a show that makes you laugh, but people remember the sad ones.
Oh, it's coming.
Phoebe gets her heart broken.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Friends Favourites, Monday on 9.
This AFL coverage proudly brought to you by Toyota, Primus Telecom, and Chartered Accountants.
Welcome back. A quick score from Skilled Stadium. Geelong 55 points up over Hawthorn midway through the final quarter there. At the Dome, meanwhile, it's the Bombers by 8 points over the Western Bulldogs as we rejoin the play with a tad under 10 minutes left on the clock in the second quarter.
Throw in. Eagleton on his left boot. Couldn't drag it back. In fact, kicks it out of bounds on the full. So the Bombers through Welsh in the back pocket. Welsh chips up the line, looking for... Right on the goal square. Brian, you watch the fight. I'll call the game.
The fight's over, Ed.
Okay, Wellman says the game as far as that's concerned, because Wellman has just turned it over. Boyd. Oh, little chip kick. Bulldogs are just starting to panic. Wellman to redeem himself. Crunch. Mark Johnson looked at McMahon and said, "You're easy target." Bang. Then got the handball away. He's having a good day, Mark Johnson.
Oh, he's playing with some real controlled aggression, Eddie. We've seen him do some undisciplined things. I've been critical of him in the past for giving away soft 50s and free kicks.
It's on behind play still. Darcy and Fletcher getting into each other's face. As a result, spot fires breaking out all round. The Telstra Dome at the moment. The emergency umpire's out there. We've got a bounce, we've got a game.
Oh, I'd be saying, Dustin, we've missed you in finals before.
Johnson kicks forward, exactly. Dustin Fletcher. And the transfer's on.
Here they go. The Bombers building up. Lloyd on a long lead. Got a bad bounce. Grant at the back. Will mop up. Help from Bassett. Now Robbins. Got a game on here. Bit of aggro. Bit of skill.
Could catch fire today.
Yeah, bit at stake here as well. Lloyd trying to get hold of the common medal for yet another time. And, of course, the Bombers trying to make the finals, most importantly. Clangers so far in the game.
Oh, great decision, Goldie.
28-16.
He threw that.
Gary Lyons doing a lot of off-air work here today. Cross, centering ball, Minson, one out. Couldn't get into a good position. Welsh at ground level. They close on him now. He locked it in and under. Murphy arrived, tried to get it out. They were lucky then, the Bombers. And a ball up in front of the Bulldogs' goal mouth. And it is getting hot here at the moment.
There's Darren Goldsmith. He's in amongst it.
He was just hoping for a nice, easy game.
What did he do? What did he do to this?
He threw it back into play.
He threw it back into play.
It was play on.
It was a throw. Good decision,
Play
Darren.
on. Power. He didn't have it to throw.
Well, we might see it again.
Ball up. Umpire Goldsmith comes into bounce. Here we go.
And get a game for the Wallabies. Watch this.
He's got it. Possession of it.
Throws it back.
Simultaneously. It's in slow
Brian.
motion, remember?
Brian.
What about a rough play for throwing him into the fence?